Hey guys, Iconismus here. I'm sure some of you already know who I am if you clicked on this video, but if not, I do drama slop, I guess. Welcome in. Basically, for those of you who are, I guess, not in the loop, I had a debate, I guess you could say, with RiverCiver, which I attempted to make a bit of a conversation with before, because I don't really find debates productive. But I knew this video was going to be inevitable, where I look back on my RiverCiver debate, and I just reflect, see what I could have done better. Maybe, I guess, annotate where it's necessary. There's a lot of times where we do go in circles in this debate, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to watch the entire thing. I guess we'll see as we go through this. But, yeah, I mean, basically what happened was I think I made a deal with River that if he watches my video from start to finish, which was one of my videos, one of my coverage of him, that I would debate him. A little bit unrealistic, I guess, in hindsight. Probably would have been, like, absolute fucking torture for him. And I figured, fuck it, I might as well just make do on my end of the deal anyways, besides which I tried to prepare for the debate as much as I could with some notes next to me. So hopefully I could, I don't know. Hopefully I did okay. I mean, I'm not really, like, again, I wasn't really trying to, like, debate necessarily, but I knew naturally it was going to go in that direction because I'm debating fucking RiverCiver of all people, so... I did see that he posted something on his YouTube posts that he was taking a break from content creation due to real life stuff. I mean, hopefully it gets him to be less fucking terminally online, but knowing him, it probably won't. Anyway, enough stalling. Let's just get to this debate.
Hello?
Also, the hand thingy. I know some people mentioned, oh, you were, like, fucking rubbing your hands together. No, if you go back through RiverCiver's VOD, it was actually RiverCiver that did it. I had to edit, the audio fucking came out so bad on my end when I recorded it on my end, and I had to use RiverCiver's audio for a bit in the beginning. So if you go back through RiverCiver's VOD, you'll see that it actually was him that was rubbing his hands together. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I could not finish your fucking video. It's too slop.
Yeah, figured as much.
I got a poll.
Oh, actually, I don't think I recorded this beginning part because my audio messed up. Yeah, that was exactly what it was, yeah.
83% said to skip it. Is that the video you were proud of? You're proud of that?
Wow, shocker. Who would have guessed? 83% of people would have guessed to skip my video. I mean, I wouldn't really say I'm proud of it. I just make slop content. I just react. It's very easy to do, actually, because, very humble of you, Iconismus. Yeah, no, I honestly, like, my content's, like, whatever. I just put out slop content because it's low effort and it's easy to do, and also I like talking about drama. I've been good at it in the past, so, you know, if it works, right? I also like to think that I'm generally normal about shit, and I don't, like, I don't know, we need more people being normal about shit when talking about situations. There's a lot of sensationalist bullshit on the internet, so, yeah, I mean, I feel like if I can talk like that as well, and also, I've gotten comments from people that say, like, they put their videos on, my videos on in the background and stuff, and it's like, that's nice. I always like receiving those comments. It always is nice that, I get to be good background noise to people, and who knows, maybe this video is good background noise to other people as well. The video editor I use lets me play it in 2x speed so I can get it done quicker, usually. And oh, yeah, no, we're talking about here, like, River's like, are you proud of it? You upload drama slop daily. Oh my god. Even though RiverCiver himself is a drama slop creator. But, yeah, I use DaVinci Resolve to edit my stuff. I used to use Camtasia Studio 9, but in DaVinci Resolve, you could play your videos on, like, 2x or 4x speed, so you can actually get editing done a lot quicker. And so I've just kind of been using that for the most part ever since. Occasionally, I'll still use Camtasia Studio 9, especially if I'm doing, like, short-form content, because that's how I have it set up. But, yeah. Schedule them in advance. So I have, like, a couple of in backlog. I haven't even made a video in, like, the past, like, 5 days. Most of it has been backlog.
I mean, you realize how much time it takes to keep up to date with all these current trendy stories and everything, right?
It takes time, but I don't think it's as much as you're, like, making it out to be necessarily.
I mean,
also,
it's like...
I'm doing, like, an audio test for my OBS, so I'm just gonna run some... Sorry.
Definitely making a video about this. But, like, your video...
Of course I am. 2 videos now.
It was just easy. It was just easy. Like, you started talking about my...
He always says debates are easy when he doesn't have anything to say. Like, usually he's just like, it's so easy. Everything is so easy. I won the Spookajukes debate. It's easy. It's easy. I'm a winner. Like, okay. Whenever River... You have to understand, whenever River says stuff like that, you kind of just have to ignore it and put it to the side and realize he's just, like... He's projecting, like, his delusional fucking way that he views the world. Like, he views the world as, like, everybody's trying to snark after him. River lives in a total victim complex. We just have to, like, understand that. I think I'm probably gonna skip ahead to, like, when the debate actually starts, because, like, this intro part really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, so I'll just skip ahead, because I don't know if watching the entire debate's, like, really necessary. I just want to get to, like, the actual important parts. Okay, never mind. Turns out I paused right before we actually get into certain parts that River wanted to talk about, so I guess we're not skipping ahead. Never mind.
Like, you started talking about my pig gameplay and stuff?
I did.
Like, why?
I
like,
did.
That's so, like, people got so bored. You're like, oh, technically it's no perks, but you had no perks, but no, technically, and then this guy gave up, and you're playing Ormond as no perks, and you were struggling, but you still won. Like, who fucking cares? Why are you...
I mean, you definitely were not perkless, but, like, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, obviously, like, it's just, like, I was being petty. Like, obviously, I came into your chat to be a little bit petty. Like, yes, obviously, that's, like, very silly on my part. But, like, at the end of the day, the way you reacted to it wound up giving me content anyways, so whatever, dude.
Like, you're like, yeah...
I mean, ultimately, it doesn't matter. I was being, like, kind of petty, like...
Who the fuck cares? But every point you made...
Yeah, I still stand by this point. Like, I was being petty about it. It's, like... And also, people were like, oh my god, you commented on my pig gameplay, and like, why did you include this intro part? We have to understand, the way I do reactions on this channel is I try to include all the context. Now, you may be upset that that makes the video longer, but there's a couple solutions for that. One, you could just skip ahead in the video. You're allowed to do that on YouTube if you don't care about it. And two, just don't watch it. Like... honestly, like, again, if you're not happy with, like, how the, like, I guess, debate in River's chat, this was before this debate, because technically there were two debates, in the chat, it was just, like, whatever, because, like, him and his fucking audience were, like, completely drooling all over their keyboards and getting upset at me, because, I was being a little bit petty, which, to be fair, like, yeah, I was being petty, but still.
That was so easy.
But yeah, no, I like to include all the context in my videos. I just think it's like, that's just kind of how I've always done content. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. I know people got, like, a little bit annoyed at that, but it's like, whatever.
Like, the amount of slander you spread is insane. Like, you were saying, I think...
Oh, yeah, by the way, did I mention that slander is a fucking buzzword to River? Like, every single time he talks about slander, like, it's literally his, like, version of the word grooming online. Which, by the way, also does not mean anything anymore online either.
The age of consent should be lowered and shit. Like, what the fuck? I know why you...
So, this is interesting, right? Because, like, in the middle of the debate, like, River's like, it was cropped and there's no likes or whatever. I'm talking about, like, his age of consent tweet. We have to understand, just because it's cropped doesn't mean the tweet is fake. Now, for all I know, it could still be fake. I'm leaning towards the side of it not being fake, given that, like, RiverCiver hangs out with people like Evil Shrimp, who later in this debate unironically makes arguments for having sex with, like, 15 and 16-year-old girls, and he's also a legitimate white supremacist, so that's great. The tweet that you said about that, also, I'm still, like, running some audio tests.
I know why you said that as well. You aren't you like you're like a drama tard? You should be able to, like, to figure out what's true and false. Like, that tweet has no likes. The age of consent tweet has no likes, no retweets, no nothing. And you...
Just because a screenshot is cropped doesn't mean it's fake. River's argument is that because it's cropped, it's fake. That doesn't necessarily prove that it's not fake. Or that doesn't necessarily prove that it's fake.
You've mentioned that multiple times. Like, do you realize how fucking...
I probably should have pushed on this point a little harder. But, like, I was, like, trying to argue in good faith as best as I could, because I was like, okay, maybe it is fake, and I just wasn't aware of it. I don't know. So I like, sort of give him the benefit of the doubt when I shouldn't have here.
How retarded that is, that you're like, your whole thing is, like, drama, but besides having the common consensus on everything, bad guy is bad, pirate software bad, this guy bad, besides that, you can't even...
I don't really have the common consensus on everything. You assume that I, like, watch Moist Critical and regurgitate, like, all of his takes. That's not really what I do. I look at it myself. No, I don't. I've watched Moist Critical on the channel. It's very ridiculous that, like, I like, RiverCiver unironically thinks I watch Moist Critical and I have the same takes as Moist Critical, which is not true at all. I don't regurgitate Moist Critical's takes at all. I don't know where he gets that from. Before, but just because I watch Moist... Like, I am capable of having my own opinions when I watch stuff. I am totally, like, fine on shit. Critical doesn't mean I agree with everything he says. I can name a couple of things I've disagreed with him on.
I don't know. I don't keep up to date with the shit 'cause it's really shallow, but you realize, like, how...
So he immediately just, like, concedes on that point, I guess, which is interesting, to say the least.
Much time it takes to, like, keep up to date with, like...
It's interesting. River has had more experience debating than me, and he just automatically concedes on that point. I don't know why.
Do you actually like? Are you proud? I guess you're not proud of your content, but what's even the point if you get no views? Like, is it actually fun to keep up to date with this?
It's actually interesting. If you look at my channel recently, it's actually been kind of popping off lately. I've been getting like hundreds of views on like some of the videos that I've been doing lately. I even got like over 1,000 fucking views on this burnt peanut video, which I was not expecting. Of all the videos I was expecting to blow up, that was one that I was not expecting to blow up. Though tons of people got really fucking mad at that video for some reason. I don't know why. I had, like, both far leftists and then a bunch of, like, right-wing freaks come into my fucking comments section all triggered and butthurt about it, so I guess I'm a shoe on head, wink wink, not really, because I think shoe on head's a bit of a coward, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, yeah, it's like a guilty pleasure to cover slop, and I also tend to have, like, a lot of, like, nuanced discussions about things. I don't...
No, you don't.
If you've seen my... I mean, I do. It's just that you don't watch the times that I talk about nuance, and there's not a reason to talk about nuance when it comes to you, River. You are a inherently just, like, shit human being, so... Of course, listen, I think it's... Like, I get why River doesn't think that I'm nuanced, because his exposure to my content is just me shitting on him, so he's naturally not going to think that I'm being nuanced when it comes to talking about him. And I guess from that perspective, he would technically be correct. Other videos, I mean, how would you know if you don't watch most of my content?
I've watched what I have watched. I've not seen a single nuanced thing from you.
Because there's nothing to be nuanced when it comes to you. When it comes to you, you've engaged in a lot of really, like, shitty behavior. Like, your involvement with, like, the whole doxing and everything with, like, Scott Jones.
So you cited me before. What do you think I'm involved? What is the doxing that I'm involved in?
So, well, first of all, you have Evil Shrimp modded in your chat, and he literally, like, in this very stream, posted Scott Jones' address in the chat. He did post it, by the way. Yeah, you could see the state. I mean, we know the state Scott lives in, so I didn't, like, I figured not censoring that part's, like, whatever, because the state doesn't matter, but everything else I just fucking blurred out, because, like, obviously I'm not going to show Scott June's address, but yeah, he does show Scott June's address, yeah.
Yeah, and we already covered that this is literally a single Google search away.
It's a Google search, but just because, yeah, I don't know why he fucking, like, says, you know, oh my god, it's a Google search away. Doesn't matter. If you shouldn't be able to fucking signal boost information. If you signal boost information, that is still technically doxing. That otherwise wouldn't be accessible. And also, not for nothing, River, but, like, there's a DM of you literally admitting where it's like, yeah, fuck it, do that. I know you're gonna claim that you debunked it a million times, but, like, what... Like, River's argument for the, yeah, fuck it, do that, is just that it's out of context. It's not out of context. Like, River, what context would make saying, yeah, fuck it, do that in response to getting Scott June's personal information and doxing him? What context would make it okay? What is the context that leads up to it? Please explain it for me. Because honestly, like, and this is a part that I really fucking am kicking myself for, is, like, on this topic, I just let River pivot away from this talking point when it's a very important point that I need to push harder on. I absolutely should have pushed harder on this point. This is, like, going to be the first major criticism I'm giving to myself. Like, this is, like, I had all the information available, and I should have pushed harder. And I think part of it maybe, like, looking back at, like, how I was, like, viewing this part of the debate, was that there was, I think there was a guy debating before me. It was DBD Talks was his name, I believe. And he had already talked about the doxing situation in depth, so I figured it wouldn't be necessary to talk about it again here. But I absolutely still should have pushed harder. And I'm not trying to be an asshole, but that DBD Talks person really was not the greatest at debating, and that's coming from someone who sucks at debating. So, like, he was, like, getting kind of, like, walked all over by, like, Evil Shrimp and River, like, very easily, and he should have prepared a lot more for it, I think. But I'm not the best debater either, so what the fuck do I know? I think the person that went after me, what was their name? I think Eli was their name or something like that. I don't remember this their specific name, but the person that went after me did a lot better than I did, for sure. Because you can find information about someone on, like, a voter registry doesn't necessarily... Like, how many people are going to go to a voter registry and find out about, like, Scott Jones' address? How many people, like, realistically are actually, like, doing that like, engage with Scott's content?
How many people are going to see that video and are actually going to go into his house and blow his fucking brains out with a shotgun? How many people do you think...
Probably very... That's not the fucking point, River. The point that I was making is that, like, how many people are gonna go to a voter registry to see the address of Scott June's thing, right? That was not the point that I was making. He obviously he completely fucking dodges that argument. I should have pushed harder on this, because RiverCiver completely pivots away from that entirely, and he just, like, tries to dodge. He basically dodges the question entirely here. I'm asking a very important question here. Nobody, the answer should be nobody, would go to the voter registry and find Scott June's address. Not before RiverCiver and Evil Shrimp signal boosted how to do that. So, again, like, that is still a form of doxing, and I'm kind of kicking myself because I feel I definitely should have pushed harder on this point, like, immediately. Little, but, like, just because very little people are going to do that doesn't mean the threat couldn't still exist, right?
It's obvious that you can play moral high ground.
Because you can still... There's still crazy fucking fans out there that are willing to do that sort of thing. Like, how many... Like, you remember Christina Grimmie, like, 10 years ago? I don't even know if you know what that is. She got shot on her own fucking live show or whatever. Anyway, the point that I'm saying is that there are crazy people out there, and you still have to account for that 1% of people that could do that, even if the odds of that actually happening to you are very low. In the grand I mean, the point that I'm making here is that, like, there have been plenty of big content creators that have been doxxed. Dream has been doxxed, Ethan Klein has been doxxed, and for the most part, nothing has really happened to them, apart from, like, the CPS and the fucking 2 human skulls, which are pretty bad, obviously. But, apart from that, nothing really has happened to them. It hasn't had, like, a long-lasting effect on, like, any of them, I would say. Again, like, for the most part, if you do get doxxed, it most likely won't matter, but that doesn't mean we should normalize doxing. Game of things.
So do you think the slander that Scott Jones spread about me and him sending all his retard droids to attack me was cool? You think that's fine?
I don't condone that. I don't think it's cool to do that, no. I mean, I don't particularly care that River's getting hurt. I probably should have just said I don't care, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm being too nice here. I should have just said you're a shit person. I don't care if you get harassed. Like, I feel like I was being too nice. I mean, like, I generally try to be consistent with all my coverage. Obviously, you shouldn't harass people, but generally speaking, RiverCiver has sent so much harassment after other people. I really just don't care if he gets harassment, genuinely. I don't care, honestly.
You know.
And also, it's very ironic because RiverCiver constantly virtue signaled about this when it came to Spook and Jukes' content in regards to Dead by Daylight. Like, he would constantly virtue signal about this point, so River just completely like stopped giving a shit about his own moral values, which is, I think, funny.
What he slandered me about, right?
What point specifically? Can you repeat?
Mainly that he thinks that he tried to twist the yeah fuck it just do that screenshot into being about Spook and Jukes. I debunked all of this in the.
So once again, I need to push on this point because, like, this is a very important point. Again, the only thing that gets you out of that screenshot is if it's fake. Like, really, like, that is you explicitly co-signing doxing. Like, there is no context that will make that screenshot better. And I absolutely should have pushed on this point harder. I am so annoyed that I didn't push on this harder. Again, we're probably going to skip around this debate because I don't think it's worth watching the entire debate. I do want to, like, go over, like, the main talking points. But yeah, like I said, I should have pushed harder on this point. So... yeah, I did see that video where you were talking with, what is it, in the Discord screenshot, it was Cayenne, but that's Evil Shrimp, right? In that screenshot? Yeah, it's Evil Shrimp. So, you say that it's out of context. I'm gonna just, like, pull it up again if you don't mind, because, like, I'm pretty sure...
I've said it a billion times.
You said it a billion times. I mean, Scott June is lying about me at timestamp 440. Yep, right here. I haven't really...
Seen it a billion times. Whatever, pull it up.
Alright, whatever. Yeah, it's at this timestamp, so I'm gonna just send it to you right here. It's at, right here. I did come prepared. I did have this noted as well, where he was like, again, RiverCiver uses the excuse that the doxing claim is out of context, but it really, like, there's no context that can justify saying, like, co-signing doxing, and I needed to push on this point harder. 440. And you say it's out of context because he was talking about Spook and Jukes, correct? That was your position?
Well, he says I'm talking about Spook and Jukes, yes.
Well, the thing is that Evil Shrimp in that screenshot says he's going to become DBD's next Hitler, dox all the big creators who disagree with him, and then send a bunch of death threats and like, you don't think that's concerning behavior and that's you being somewhat complicit within those messages?
It's stupid, and he didn't do that. It's just fucking stupid, though. I was like, yeah.
Well, I mean, but why is that something you would even joke about, is my question. Why would you even joke about it?
Because we have jokes that aren't just femboy goon porn. We have jokes that aren't just femboy...
I mean, I agree, the femboy goon porn shit is cringe from the... I think it's very ironic to say that, like, RiverCiver is like, oh, you're porn brain, you know, we don't do porn jokes, and then you have fucking Evil Shrimp who claims to be edgy, I guess, or is edgy or whatever, and is like saying how it's okay to fuck 15 and 16-year-old girls. I think that's very ironic that he says that. If I could read into the future that he does that, I mean, I technically had the context that, like, I mean, like, he was making jokes about 11 being a minor, the Stranger Things character 11 being a minor in Dead by Daylight, and then how it's, like, okay to, like, have sex with her or whatever. He's, like, making jokes about it. It's, like, very concerning fucking behavior. Like, I mean, I don't know, like, how many times can you joke about something before it becomes, like, an intrusive thought? Like, Evil Shrimp has made many jokes about having sex with minors. DVD community, but like, why?
How the fuck can you say that? Like,
What do you mean? How can I say that?
Person. You're a furry, and you started.
And then I just let him pivot onto another fucking topic when I should have pushed harder on the doxing point. It's a little okay, whatever. I mean, like, I guess at this point I was still treating it like a conversation, but yes, I absolutely, again, one final time, I should have pushed on this point harder. I'm gonna see if there's any other topic that I want to quickly talk about here. I know I briefly already talked about it, but I'll skip ahead to this point. Again, guys, this is not going to be like a typical reaction. I'm not going to watch the entire thing. If you guys want to watch the entire debate, you guys can feel free to click the link in the description below. I always leave the source of the videos that I react to in the description below for you guys to watch. So feel free to watch the full debate there if you missed it. But yeah, this is the next point I just want to quickly address.
Whatever you say, this is so stupid.
No, I mean, that is like what you like by definition. Do you think words don't have their definitions? I guess they technically don't, considering you guys use pedophile as a buzzword and you falsely accuse people of being pedophiles all the time, so.
What the irony? You literally agree. You said that the age of consent tweet is real. What the fuck?
So, well, okay, so.
That's real.
How?
That's so ironic.
Well, every time you've replied to the age of consent tweet is when you, like, you didn't seem to take it that seriously, so I don't particularly think that. Yeah, I feel like if you're called a pedophile, or if you, like, you have, like, an old tweet dug up of you, I feel like that is something you want to address, but RiverCiver doesn't seem to care to address it, nor does he think it's that threatening to his career, I guess, so that's why I just, like, I mean, it seemed like it was real, and it, like, for all I know, it could be fake, but, like, at the end of the day, like, he's not exactly helping himself when he associates with people like Evil Shrimp, and also, just because you crop a screenshot doesn't necessarily mean a tweet is fake. So again, that's like another good point that I probably could have used against River to push on it a little harder. Again, like the biggest thing throughout this debate is I need to push harder on points. Like I feel like I do push him hard on certain points as best as I can, but I still need to like fucking push harder because again, it's no secret I'm like not the best debater, but I still need to. I think it's just good to look over what I could have done better, and I guess if I ever somehow debate again, which I quite frankly don't think I will, just because like debating is just like I don't think debating is productive. I prefer to have conversations with people. I just like there's a difference between having a conversation with somebody and then there's a difference and then debating somebody, because like debating somebody is like less productive than having like a legitimate conversation with somebody about something. And I think that's just like we need more conversation than debates nowadays. Like debate is just like a lot of people that engage in debates are just extremely performative. I don't think they actually care about any of the shit that they're arguing for. A lot of people in debate environments tend to lie in the moment. As long as you can lie confidently in debates, you can win debates, basically. And that's why I just don't find them productive. You have like Andrew Wilson, who like just constantly weasels and lies his way out of shit in the fucking whatever podcast. So
But take it serious. It's a tweet. You can easily fabricate.
Yeah, but River, if somebody was faking shit about you being like you saying that the age of consent should be lowered, if somebody was faking that about you, wouldn't you want to address something as serious as that though?
Because people do that shit all the time. You don't know what it's like to actually be popular because you're a nobody.
Yeah, okay, whatever. But that's nice. Can you answer my question?
What? Why I didn't address it? I literally addressed it in a tweet. Like,
so, well, you addressed it, but hardly. You didn't seem to take it that seriously. As for somebody, like, if any normal person, like, had a fake tweet about them saying age of consent should be lowered, I think that would be serious enough to... Yeah, these are all the tweets that you did not take it seriously, and you just say easy slander, rent-free. You're, like, making very short responses. You should... like, listen, if this was a tweet about me, I would be like, yeah, this is not true, and I've already debunked it in this part here. And you could just say that and then be done with it.
You don't get retard slander you every fucking day because you're a nobody.
Well, I don't get slander. Again, you have to remember that, like, slander is a buzzword to River, you know? He calls it slander, but he's not actually, like, it's not really slander if it's true, so... Like, idiots slandering me every single day because I don't do dumb shit like you. I don't, like, rage bait people 24/7.
Because you're a nobody. Like,
yeah.
You realize you have no personality, right?
I mean, that's your personal opinion of me. I don't really... River, you don't want to go down this road. You don't have any fucking... Your whole personality is just fucking rage baiting and being super unfunny and being a cringe fucking edgelord loser fuck that just sits in his fucking room all day and is like terminally online, responds to every single fucking tweet that when somebody says a mean thing about him. Dude, you don't want to go down this road. Your personality, like, in comparison is worse than mine. I care whether you think I have personality or not. I'd rather not have your personality. Anyways, we're going around in circles, so I just want to, like...
Statistically, I have more personality than you.
If you say so. Anyways, you haven't really addressed it. So, now, for all I know, the tweet could be fake, honestly.
You mean the tweet with no likes, no replies, no date, nothing?
I mean, it could be, but you weren't addressing it meaningfully until, like, very recent. I think recently you put out a tweet saying I didn't think I'd have to address it. I think it was, like, a recent tweet.
It's the most obvious fake bullshit ever. It's the most like you're a drama creator. Like you should know when things are real and when they're not. That's actually,
Yeah, but if you've hardly addressed, like, you would think that you would address something like that as well. Also, not for nothing, hasn't Evil Shrimp made jokes about, like, someone, like, 11 being a fucking minor in a couple of your streams ago when you were doing 2v8 with him? Isn't that, like, a joke that you guys have made? So, like, I don't exactly think, even if the tweet is fake, I don't exactly think that you guys help yourselves with some of those, like, weird comments.
I don't care about being slandered or whatever. I don't fucking care. Like,
Literally, this entire debate, you are implying that you care about being slandered. This entire debate, you are implying it. You were saying that you don't know what it's like to get idiots slandering you every single day. Wouldn't that not imply that you're upset by it?
Okay, are you okay?
Wouldn't that... Yeah, no, I mean, like, obviously, I probably shouldn't have gotten, like, I probably shouldn't have, like, yelled or gotten this passionate. I tend to get, like, very passionate when I'm, like, really in the moment, when I'm arguing with somebody. But, like, it's very obvious that RiverCiver, like, some of the mean shit that people say about him online, it does affect him. And it's very obvious that it affects him. He tries to play it off like it doesn't affect him, but it very obviously gets to him. With, like, some of the bigger content creators. But he does it to himself because, like, he's just a total fucking, like, loser that just, like, tries to portray himself as, like, edgy and shit, which is, like, okay. I mean, like, you do you, but, like, people are gonna criticize you for it, you know? And then you decide to call all criticism slander. Not imply that you're upset at it, yes or no?
No. Okay, so what I'm talking about when it comes to slander... What am I...
Go ahead.
Okay, so... What I'm talking about when it comes to slander is actual, like, meaningful, like, a fucking screenshot. I don't care about, like, offhanded, stupid comments we make, like, oh, I hate black people or whatever. Like a fucking screenshot that you parade around as if it's real in multiple videos, and you're like, oh, you're something.
Well, if you were to tweet something like that, wouldn't that necessarily indicate some level? And again, the tweet could be fake, but like,
okay, let me. Do you actually think that tweet is real? The one with no comments, no.
I mean, for a while, it seemed like it was because you wouldn't address it. That's my point that I'm making.
Because you want me to go over all like the retard? Like, it's literally just another retard, like more retarded slander. I get this shit all the time.
Okay. I mean, like, okay, like, I mean,
you address something that's so obviously fake. It's so obviously fake.
I mean, not necessarily if you weren't willing to address it for a long time. Like, again, if you really took it seriously, you would have absolutely... I think we're going wrong. You didn't take it seriously, but shouldn't you take it seriously if you're being accused of somebody that could potentially be like an actual pedophile?
All the time. Like, they call me a pedophile all the time with no evidence.
I mean, regardless of whether or not the tweet is real or fake, I still think that RiverCiver gives zero fucks about pedophilia. I mean, he hangs out with Evil Shrimp, who thinks that minors are hot by his own admission. So... And that, you can't fake somebody being on a Discord call saying that word for word, so... if Evil Shrimp is okay with hanging out with people like that, I'm sure... or RiverCiver is okay with hanging out with people like that, I'm sure he would have no problem sliding it into somebody who's not of age, I guess.
It's just like you. They call me.
You also do the same thing. You've done the same thing, River, in all of your videos. You've done it with Jane Romero. You've done it with, like, anybody that disagrees with you. You've done it on like, Twitter all the fucking time in your things.
You're screaming. Are you okay?
No, like, I'm just proving a point. That you're like...
Not a point.
You've replied with falsely calling people pedophiles all the time.
Let me debunk that really quick.
Okay, fine, go ahead.
You think calling someone a pedophile is an insult? You know, the same way people call me an incel, or you've used buzzwords that aren't true about me as well. So, you think using it as an insult to describe the type of person someone is comparable to making a fake tweet that actually retards like you...
I think that using pedophile as an insult sets a bad precedent. I would argue that it's worse. To be honest with you, I would argue that falsely calling somebody a pedophile is worse than somebody allegedly making a fucking potentially fake tweet, which it's hard to say whether it is or it isn't fake at this point, given River's behavior. I would argue that, like, falsely calling a bunch of other people pedophiles is worse, River, yes, by comparison. Because that's if you want to go down that road. Very serious thing to accuse somebody of, and that's life ruining.
Hey, it's almost like you accused me of it too with no evidence.
Okay, so the tweet, I pulled up your tweet about it. It's very ironic given the fact that, like, fucking River has constantly falsely accused people of being pedophiles without any proof. Like, he calls Jane Romero a pedophile because they're transgender, and he's, like, obviously, he knows what he's doing. And, like, when he has, like, the fucking text in his videos of age is just a number or whatever, like, in the same presence as, like, Jane Romero in his videos, it's like, okay, dude, like, we know what you're doing. And then she hangs outside of school. We know what you're doing, River, okay? Right, you said, thought it would be obvious from a glance, but apparently I need to debunk this fabricated tweet that has no likes, no replies. Anyone can fabricate a tweet. Okay, so that's, like, the first time you've addressed it in, like, months. Like, an actual, like, real, like, sitting down and being like, hey, this is not true.
Like, this is, like, you act like this is something, like, a big thing, like a big creator calling me out or something. Every time
I never implied that a big creator called you out for saying this.
Although why do you think I would give a shit about, like, a single fake...
Because I would certainly care if somebody was falsely calling me a pedophile.
You're a no, but people falsely calls me shit. Like, every time I get falsely accused of something, I just say, like, can you explain how? And then they break.
Why would you reply to them to begin with, though? Like, a bunch of people on Twitter. No. Why on Twitter? Like, a bunch of random nobodies that are just saying a bunch of, like, shit. Like, I forget the pedophile part for 1 second, because that's different. That's, like, a very serious thing. If somebody is, like, just randomly calling you, like, an incel, like, if you truly didn't care, why would you take the time out of your day to respond to them?
So if you're saying that, but you're saying, why did I take the time out of my day to...
Because calling somebody a pedophile is a very serious thing. And, River, I think you understand this. I think deep down you know this, but you're trying to make a false equivalence between calling somebody, like, an incel or calling somebody a pedophile.
I'm not even saying, so your whole no you here is that I use pedophile...
I didn't use any no you here. I simply was pointing out the fact... What?
I call people pedophiles as an insult with no evidence, not faking calling them a pedophile, right? That's what you do?
So, but like, you should. He calls them as an insult and doesn't use the definitions, but then we'll put Jane Romero like outside of a fucking school or whatever, and then have like age is just a number, obviously insinuating that they like children. Get the fuck out of here. This is another point that I should have pushed harder on, for sure. Like, again, like, you can never prepare for every single debate on like a RiverCiver thing, or like just any debate in general. So obviously I'm not going to have the perfect answer for every single thing he says, but that was like another thing I could have gotten him with, is just like that. But then River's gonna be like, oh, that's your gotcha? Like, I'm gonna just predict what River would have done if I said it. He would have been like, oh, that's your gotcha? That's ironic. That's your gotcha? That's totally not me, like, actually calling Jane a pedophile or saying that they like kids hanging outside of a school. That's something along the lines of what he would have said, because he's, like, that fucking stupid and brain broken. He can't, like, actually debate for anything. Again, I think one thing that we have to understand, like, River does this very frequently. His very popular debate tactic is pretending to be stupid. And if you pretend to be stupid and confidently lie about shit, and like confidently lie saying that you're destroying somebody in the debate, you in theory could win a debate. Like, because River is like so confidently stupid. And he's very confidently dishonest about his engagements. All right, so we kind of go in circles for the next 30 minutes. So I skipped ahead 30 minutes. Again, if you guys want to watch the entire debate, feel free to click it in the description. I don't feel like watching, like, every single second of this debate. I kind of just want to, like, reflect on some of the more important parts. So, I believe this is the timestamp where we start to talk about the DEI stuff. So, we are, we'll cover that. Going to criticize you, and like, people that are going to criticize you you're never going to get convinced by these people ever, even if it's like the best faith criticism against you, or I guess your definition of it.
Give me an example.
Any of my hit pieces, any of, what is it, that guy Chronic Hiccups mentioned.
That guy deleted all his videos because they were full of slander.
I don't even remember. I don't even know if that's the reason It's interesting. I mean, he talks about how Chronic Hiccups says the videos were full of slander, but, like, they all showed proof that RiverCiver in his Discord would make, like, AI videos of Scott June saying, you should come to my house and blow his or her brains out with a shotgun or whatever. Just saying, like, the most edgy and provocative shit for attention. Like, it's just, that's kind of like what River is. It's like, it's not surprising that he does shit like this, but, you know, he sits here and he can be like, oh, but the screenshot of my involvement with the doxing is out of context, but also here's me co-signing the doxing. Oh, okay. Got it, dude.
He deleted all his, he literally DM'd me on Discord saying that he deleted.
Do you have the screenshot of him saying because it was slanderous?
It was like a tribute. Shrimp actually, he said it to Shrimp too. Shrimp actually wants to talk to you, by the way. I don't want to like double team. I can mute, but
I mean, it's so funny that he says I don't want to double team, and then he proceeds to add 2 people because he was getting overwhelmed in the debate. Even though I wasn't really debating that well, he was still getting overwhelmed that he needed 2 other people to help him out in the debate. I was under the impression I was just debating you. I can set up a debate with Shrimp another time if he really wants to debate, but
no, he wants to talk like right now. Like we're not doing another. We're done with you after this. You're just easy.
Okay, well then you're just easy. Well, by that logic, if I'm easy, surely you'd want to debate me again and use me for content, right? I was under the impression that we were just debating. That's all.
All you've done.
Yeah, that was the original like thing. It was originally going to be just me and River debating, and then he just decided to add Evil Shrimp into the debate for no fucking reason. It's like, okay, yeah, cool. They literally turned the debate, and then they added this like this other fucking random guy from River's Discord because they decided like they couldn't fucking, I don't know. I guess River just has no autonomy over himself. River is a total baby, and he needs people to back him up. I mean, part of me is honored, because while I didn't debate very well, I do think that I take it as a compliment that you have to resort to using three people to try to beat me into it in a debate, despite the fact that I don't feel like I did the best.
Talk about fucking.
But then again, I'm not really like a debater. I don't really find debate conversations particularly productive. I was doing this mainly because I was fulfilling my end of the agreement that I had. There's a couple of other points that I actually had like some other stuff written down about, but we kept circling around.
I have nothing written down. I'm here just like here to own, basically. So.
If you say so. Okay, so your latest video was about your latest video. This is something I was interested in debating you on. Your latest video about behavior hiring, or like having DEI people in their company.
Piss you off?
Yeah, so interesting. So I never actually reacted to this video on the channel, nor do I think reacting to the entirety of this video would be productive. I guess it would be good content, but I am very sick of River content, though I did want to reflect on this debate. Basically, throughout the entire video, RiverCiver, I'll just give you like a brief rundown. RiverCiver tries to run the narrative that the reason why Dead by Daylight is in a shit game state is because they have DEI hires, essentially. That's really all you need to know. And essentially, he, like, says that the fucking community manager is a fat black woman, and she would get hired over a white person. And it's the typical fucking anti-DEI talking points. That, like, they're disenfranchising white people, they use the wheel of privilege to hire people. But again, the problem is that RiverCiver is just making a bunch of shit up. He doesn't really use that much evidence to prove any of his claims. Just because behavior has the wheel of privilege doesn't really prove that it has poor implementation. So I feel like I could have pushed back on that part a little harder. I do think, for the most part, when I talked about DEI, I thought I was very proud of the way I engaged with it. Because, like, I feel like I engaged with it, I would say, probably way more intelligently than River ever would in his fucking lifetime. What? Well, no, no, I just think some of your points are a little bit stupid here. Okay. Basically, like, so you're saying that behavior, what's your position on, like, the whole DEI thing with, like, behavior in general? Just so, like...
I think they focus way more on how everything looks, like, getting diverse characters, diverse skins, diverse this, useless employees, like... That
doesn't answer my question. Answer the question. I'm asking specifically about their employees. That was the entire thing. They rely on DEI hires. That was one of your position is, right?
Yes.
So, well, first of all, who cares? Second of all, just because they have just because they have diversity hiring, that doesn't mean that somebody who isn't qualified for the job can't get it, like a white person. Because I know because that's the implication of the game of your statement, is that, like, people like white people are getting disenfranchised essentially by DEI. That's kind of the undertone of your argument in the video.
Sure, but have you seen the state of the game?
The state of the game is probably ass. Yeah, and guess what? The state of Dead by Daylight has been ass ever since it came out. Like, Dead by Daylight has never been a balanced game, and it's never truly been, like, a great game ever since it came out. DEI hires have absolutely nothing to do with it. Even one of the better developers, McLean was his name? Yeah, McLean was his name. He was developing, and he's a white guy. He's a fucking white guy, and that doesn't suddenly... I mean, the game was still shit even then. Not that it's entirely McLean's fault or anything. He was one of the better developers, if anything. Probably sucks. But what does DEI hiring have to do with that?
I mean, they have 1,300 employees that do nothing.
They could probably get tons of white guys that don't do anything with the game. And they have, historically, which is funny.
It's all what about...
It pretty much debunks River's entire video, just by that one singular fact.
I mean...
That's not... River, do you know what words mean? That's not what a whataboutism is. Whataboutism is like, oh, what about this? What about that? What about that? Like, no, that's not what a whataboutism is. River, actually, why don't you actually engage with my argument? How?
There's a wheel of privilege. You think they care about the state of the game when they have wheel of privilege? And
what's the wheel of privilege? I skimmed through your video. What's the wheel of privilege?
Holy fuck, you didn't even watch it?
I skimmed through. It's very interesting because RiverCiver's like, you didn't even watch my video, and then he stopped my video. He didn't even watch the entirety of my video. I'm sorry, River. You don't get to fucking complain that I didn't watch your video when you stopped my video, which technically wasn't part of the agreement. You're lucky I let it slide and still debated you regardless, but... a little bit hypocritical of River to complain about the fact that I skimmed through his video. I don't think he quite has a right to complain about me skimming through his dog shit video. Parts of it. I didn't agree with some of the points you made. What was the wheel of privilege?
Dude, the wheel of privilege is like a thing that they made their employees go through, where it's like it like ranks you like how privileged you are. Like, oh, if you're rich,
let me pull this up.
Yeah, like if you're black, then like you're more...
Actually, now that you mention it, I think I do remember this as a point. I just didn't really care that much. Let me see it though.
Does that not show where their priorities are?
Like, what do you mean by priorities?
Like, this is what they care about. You see dorks.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to have DEI hires in your company necessarily. I don't really see an issue with that. Just because somebody is DEI or somebody applies affirmative action policies in any company, you see this in America all the time because behavior is based in Montreal, I believe. But just because you have these policies doesn't necessarily mean white people are going to get disenfranchised completely. Like, there has never been a story where white people have been completely fucking disenfranchised out of a hiring system or in a job just because of DEI policies. That's never been the case. You do realize that... Go ahead.
They have a wheel of privilege that makes...
That doesn't mean that... Yeah, so I'm glad I pulled it up in this video. This is the wheel of privilege. Yeah, so as you can see, basically, they learned English... cisgender man, this is the, I guess, sort of the privilege or whatever, right? And then you have like darker skin, and like it's what you would expect in like, I guess, classifying you based on privilege. Now, later on, I do remember clearly that this other third random buttfuck nobody person that nobody gives a shit about, that River decided to add to the debate, tried to make an argument saying they use a point system. Based on what? There's no point system in this wheel of privilege at all. Like, what? Wait, where do... Like, point to where they use a point system. Please, point to where they use it. It's very interesting. A lot of these weird fucking people that, like, will get you to debate in their fucking Discord are so incredibly dishonest when it comes to the way they engage with arguments. That they'll lie in the moment if it makes them look good or if it makes them look great in, like, a debate setting. So, yeah, if River wanted to make the argument that the Wheel of Privilege was being used to unfairly hire people, or then, like, create, like, a very toxic work environment and be like, oh, white people don't deserve jobs, they don't deserve rights or whatever. Like, listen, it's one thing if you point out a white person having some level of privilege. It's one thing to point that out and I guess use the Wheel of Privilege. You could honestly even argue it being a little bit too cringe at times. So, like, that's fine. But, like, I still stand by the fact that there is never a time in history that you will not be able to point to a single, almost guaranteed, you're never going to point to a single time where a white person has been completely fucked over by, like, DEI policies in regards to hiring, or affirmative action as well, excuse me. Because affirmative action, we have to remember, is, like, the process of getting hired into a job. Alright, now, can there be poor implementations of DEI? Yeah, there definitely, it's not perfect. You can make an argument for it not being perfect. I think an example I use is the Electoral College from Alabama, which I don't think I fully clarified in this video. I should have clarified that it was the Electoral College in Alabama where a poor person's vote can count more than, like, an actual, like, regular middle-class person. So I probably should have clarified that fully in the debate as well. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of my wording, like, you can never prepare 100% for a debate. You could prepare as much as you can, but you can never fully prepare for every single thing, because there's always going to be something unexpected that happens in a debate. You can never fully predict them. They are prioritizing those hires, though. That doesn't mean that. How does that prove that point? I'm looking at the Wheel of Privilege right now. It's just saying that, like, people in marginalized groups like black people or, like, LGBTQ people are more marginalized in history. That's all this communicates to me as. No, yeah, I did see this. I didn't care about this one. I didn't think it was even that relevant.
So, okay, let me ask, how do you want me to prove that? What can I do to prove that?
Prove what? It is River. It is... this is what gets me. River. Like, does River not understand the concept of the burden of proof? The burden of proof is on you. You're the one making the claim that behavior are using DEI hires to unfairly to unfairly disenfranchise white people, which is the undertone of your video, and as for the reason why the game is in such a shit state. Like, it is your job to prove something like that, and guess what, River? You just made up a bunch of shit in your DEI video. You haven't actually proved that whatsoever. There's no evidence for that. That's what I should have said.
That they're being overturned by DEI hires, even though...
Well, that's the undertone of your video, is that, like, they prioritize these people and they don't care about white people. And yeah, basically what I'm saying here is that's the undertone of his video. He's asking me to prove a claim that but can we just acknowledge how, like, utterly stupid River is here for a moment? He tries to ask me to prove a claim that he made. Like, just let that sink in for a second. That is what River asked me to do here. That white people are being disenfranchised. That's the undertone of your argument.
I mean, it's more of like a theory. Like, how am I supposed to prove that with...
What do you mean it's a theory? You were literally running with it as if it was a fact. Yeah, exactly. No, River was pretty much stating it as if it was a fact. And he's like, oh no, but it's my opinion. It's my opinion. No, River, you retroactively decided it was an opinion. Don't fucking weasel your way out of this one. He retroactively is trying to be like, oh, yeah, no, I never fully said this as a... Okay, dude. Yeah, sure you didn't.
No, I never said...
Yes, you did! What are you talking about? You literally do in your video. I have... Here's the timestamp. Right here. I will pull it up for you. Just give me one second.
Because, like, nothing I give you will be good enough. I don't work at behavior, but...
Well, again, River, it's your job to prove that.
It's just, you know, the Wheel of Privilege and their fucking pride streams.
Yeah, so...
Gay shit they do, talking about skins constantly. Why do you think the state of the... Like, it could be many things, but that's one thing I truly believe.
So, in this part of the video, right... Yeah, so you read the definition of diversity hire, and the thing that you cited us, which I assume is an AI overview, the thing you cited us, there are keywords in the third line. Free from unconscious bias. Yeah, Okay, this is a very, very interesting point. I need you guys to understand this point. I'll try to explain this to you. So, at the timestamp 114 in River's video, he cites this AI overview. Diversity hiring is the intentional practice of recruiting and hiring candidates from a wide range of backgrounds, experiences, and demographic groups such as race, gender, religion, and ability, free from any bias. I think that this line is more important than River realizes. And he cites this in his own fucking video, conveniently, but chooses not to address it at all. Basically, what that means is the reason why we have a lot of DEI and affirmative action policies is because back then, inherently, black people were at a disadvantage just because of the color of their skin in terms of getting jobs. So, if there was, like, a hiring process, like, I don't need to give you a whole history lesson. We know about the whole civil rights movement. But, like, if a black person wanted to apply for working at a diner or something, and there were like several other, let's just say 2 black people want to work at a diner, right? And the other 4 people that are the interviewees are white people. Chances are those white people are way more likely to get hired over those black people, regardless of the experiences. Even if those the black people inherently have more experience working in diner settings or food settings as opposed to the white people, they will still pick the white people over them. That is what I would consider hiring in a very biased way. So I bring that up for context, right? In the reason why the free from unconscious bias thing is so important here is because now you can actually get hired based on what your background is and who the actual better candidate is, regardless of whatever group you fall into, whether it's you're gay or you're a male or a female or you're fucking white or black or whatever, right? That's why it's very important. And I highly doubt, again, River still has not proved in his video in any meaningful way that behavior has, like, very piss-poor implementations of DEI. You could say that it goes a little bit too far. In some instances, that's fine. But actually prove that. Actually show evidence of that instead of just making a bunch of shit up and hoping that your fucking terminally online edgy audience is just gonna take it as a fact. Keywords. You don't even address that part. You make it seem... The whole point is... Of course, River is too stupid to even understand the point that I'm trying to make here. That they prioritize these DEI hires over white people, but the whole reason why DEI policies existed was because white people had an inherent advantage over black people in history. I don't need to give you a whole history lesson on this, but, like, that's literally why DEI exists to begin with, or affirmative action.
You think we've overcorrected a little bit, you think?
Well, in terms of some DEI and, like, affirmative action, I think that there are some instances where it can go too far. Like, in terms of, like, our voting system, in the Electoral College, mainly. I should have specified the Electoral College. I forgot to specify the Electoral College. That's a very important part of this. I should have specified that. That was my bad. Yes, it was the Electoral... I am talking about the Electoral College in this example. Like, in Alabama, there are some, like, poorer areas that, like, have their vote count more than someone, like, near you. Yes, this is true. You can look this up if you don't believe me. This is, like, an actual, like, legitimate instance of DEI. And yes, poor people do count as DEI. Like, River's not... The reason why River's not going to compute that someone, like, being poor or being a veteran is DEI is because when he thinks of DEI, he has a negative connotation attached to it. And the reason why he has a negative connotation attached to it is because he hates groups of people that aren't, like... fucking cis male white people, basically, because that's literally River's entire sphere. And again, Evil Shrimp, who he hangs out with frequently, is a white supremacist. So I could, like, there are cases where DEI can potentially go too far, but generally speaking, the whole, like, intention and point with DEI is to make sure that everybody is on equal playing field when it comes to getting a job. By the way, DEI isn't even for when people are getting hired. No, DEI isn't for when people are getting hired. That is what affirmative action...
DEI means?
Diversity, equity, and inclusivity. That's literally what it stands for.
Yes, I know. What is your definition of it?
I mean, any marginalized group, any poor person as well. Poor people do count for DEI as well. I mean, usually, okay, again, I also probably should have specified on this as well. It's basically the policies that are implemented when you're already hired, basically, in a job, right? And you get, like, equal treatment regardless of what group you fall under, basically, when you're already hired, essentially. That's basically what DEI is. But when people talk about DEI is so broadly used now that when people use DEI, they can refer to people that are within these groups, basically. They'll just be like, oh, that person is DEI or whatever. Like, they're obviously talking about them falling under these groups in that context. I probably should have specified, but again, we're kind of just, like, playing semantics over this, because that's typically how debate settings go, which is why I'm not particularly a huge fan of debate settings, but fuck it, we ball. Same for people who are disabled. Veterans are DEI. But when people think of DEI specifically, they specifically talk about, like... So I guess I do elaborate it here. Yeah, I guess I forgot that I do. Gay or trans people or black people, specifically. That's what... When you think of when you say DEI, that's what people think of.
Yes.
But yes, no, veterans can fall under DEI as well. That's a thing.
That's crazy. So...
What do you mean that's crazy? How is that crazy? That's literally what DEI is.
No, I'm saying that's crazy because I don't care. What is your actual...
Well, yeah, okay. I actually think that might be important. I probably didn't think of it in the moment. Because it's like, yeah, you asked the question, but I actually do think it's important. He's like, I don't care that veterans are DEI. That leads me to believe that if you don't care that veterans are DEI, I think this is a bit of a self-report in River's, I guess, worldview, if he even fucking has a worldview, because that proves he doesn't actually think that DEI is a problem with his own logic. It really is just the fact that he just fucking hates marginalized groups, or, like, he hates gay or black people, basically. And, like, Evil Shrimp is psyoping him, or maybe River was always just hated these groups of people. That's really what it is more than anything. He doesn't actually think that DEI is a problematic policy whatsoever, if he doesn't care that veterans are DEI. So you asked what you wanted to hear about it, and I literally gave you a definition. Now you're gonna say you don't care?
No, about the veterans part. I don't fucking care. Just get to the point.
Okay, so okay, so if you don't care about DEI, why do you make your video then?
I just said I don't care that veterans fall. Like, oh my god, you're focusing on this little thing. I said that's crazy to you saying. Oh,
it's not a little thing. It's important. It shows that you don't seem to think that DEI is a problem. That's what my answer should have been here.
Oh, you know, that's kind of cool. Veterans, like veterans count.
I mean, they do count as DEI. So anyway,
cool.
Whatever.
That's really interesting. So what is your actual point? Is like what
is that the DEI is not as fucking like intrusive upon white people as you're making it out to be. That's the point.
You know what Canada is like?
Do I know what Canada is like? What does that have to do with anything? I'm talking about it being hired in workplaces. That's irrelevant.
This is a massive problem in Canada. It's like,
how is it a massive problem in Canada? Can you give me a source that says that DEI is a massive problem in Canada? Because there's never been a story where somebody is disenfranchised out of either like a voting system or out of a fucking job because they're white.
There's never been a single situation where that's ever happened.
I mean, okay, unless you want to count like fucking casting Martin Luther King Jr. in like a movie or something. Obviously, you would want like a black person to play that. But but that's like a very specific scenario. I'm talking about like any menial labor, like getting any fucking trade jobs. Do you know? Hold on, let me ask you something. Do you know how much demand that AI jobs are having? Electricians, carpenters, bricklayers, and plumbers. Do you know how high trade jobs are currently? Pretty fucking high, and they're going to be pretty high like going into like the next few years. The point that I'm making is that do you seriously think DEI or affirmative action is really going to remove your chances from getting hired in these positions?
I never said it removes the chances. I'm just saying
you're implying it for sure. You're implying that white people are a victim. Like, shut the fuck up. That's the insinuation in your video, though.
I never said it's gonna.
That's the insinuation, River. I made the point that you can make a dog whistle to something and imply something the same way.
You can take whatever you want from it. I just said.
What do you mean you can take anything? That's literally what you imply. You imply that what they prioritize these marginalized groups over white people.
How do you want me to prove this to you?
Go in the times. River. The burden of again. I think River really struggles to understand the concept of the burden of proof. How do you want me to prove this to you? River, it's your fucking video. It's your job to prove it. If you couldn't prove it, why did you make the fucking video, you idiot? Damn. I sent it to you. Go in the timestamp.
Describe DEI. Describe diversity.
I literally just did. I've explained. I think I've explained it very thoroughly for you. I've explained it to you very thoroughly. And if you're not happy with some of the answers I've given you, then I don't think you're going to be happy with any like answer that I might give you.
The answers are just like pure nonsense. Like
how are they nonsense? Explain to me how they're nonsense. Explain to me.
It's just what about it?
What do you mean? Where's the fucking proof that white people are getting disenfranchised?
How do you want me to prove that behavior?
You can do research. Do basic fucking... River says that my arguments are whataboutism when they've literally been in the context of the point that he's been making. And that he... Like, I basically say that, like, you know, white people are not the ultimate victim that he's trying to, like, dog whistle, essentially. So, again, instead of River being like, oh, it's just whataboutism, why don't you actually engage with my points, River? You could start by doing that. Actually debate. Instead of dismissing shit. Research on what you're talking about. Because the research that you showed us specifically says that it's free from unconscious bias, and you insinuated otherwise. That's literally what you cited in your latest video.
If they call it free from unconscious bias, does that automatically make it true?
Yes, actually. You would think so.
Automatically.
Okay, so if you're saying it's untrue, why would you fucking, like, cite it in your video then? If you're saying it's untrue.
What?
That's fucking hilarious. You literally just said, no, it's funny. You just said, if it's untrue, like, just because somebody says it doesn't mean, is it true? You literally are citing that it says, free from unconscious bias. No, you are insinuating that the possibility that it could be untrue, but you cited it in your fucking video. That's crazy. You're telling me that I don't do any research in my videos, and you can barely afford to do basic fucking research in your video. That's crazy, River. That's crazy.
dude, okay? Calm down. Take a deep breath. Are you okay?
I'm chilling. I'm just. It's just fucking crazy.
Bro, that's crazy, dude. That's wild, bro. You just say that, it doesn't automatically make it true. So, calm down.
You know what? You know. It's interesting. Fucking River's like, calm down, calm down. I mean, yeah. Am I being a little bit passionate in this debate? Yeah, absolutely. You can hear it in my voice, but it's like River's like fucking exaggerating that I'm like angry and stuff. That basically River. I can only assume the reason River's doing this is because he doesn't actually have a way to fucking engage with my argument, and he's intentionally trying to get me upset. It doesn't work though, because really you can't. The trick with people like River and Evil Shrimp and all these like weird fucking terminally online freaks is that you have to just not like, you have to not engage with people like this in a way that makes you like angry or pissed off or whatever. You have to not get triggered at these people, or at least try your damnedest to, because they try to piss you off. That's the whole point, is that River's content and Evil Shrimp's content, they intentionally try to piss you off. And so the trick is to just be like, oh, you're wrong, and you're a liar, and you're bad faith, and explain why they are, prove it, and then just move on. I know River's going to be like, no one's ever proven me wrong, which is just insane cope. He's only gaslighting himself into thinking that no one's ever actually proved him wrong on anything. So, anyway, I mean, I don't know. It's just like one of those things where, like, River, if you think, like, basically River's argument here is that, oh, hey, if this is a thing that I cited in my video, like, just because it says that, does that automatically make it true? Well, if it was untrue, River, why would you cite it in your video as a fact? That's my point. Is that, like, River cited it in his video as a fact, and now he's backtracking into saying that, oh, but now suddenly it's not true. Really? Really? So you're basically... either you're an idiot or you're intentionally hiding that information. Illegal immigrants are... That is that is your best defense here, River, is that you're an idiot, really. To look at white people that get all these trade jobs, right? Because it's typically going to be that. And then all these illegal immigrants, the Hispanics and the black people, are going to be like, oh, that's a lot of money. I should go get into a trade job or go into AI because there's going to be a market for that. Being black or Hispanic or any of these DEI groups has nothing to do with whether you get hired or you being prioritized, because that's literally that's the point that I made in the video that I cite. I gave you the River, I gave you the video and I gave you the timestamp. I don't know what to tell you. I gave it to you.
And then I said the free from unconscious bias part isn't automatically true. Like
it isn't automatically true, but you cited it in your video as if it was a fact, and then you chose not to fucking address it. So, okay, dude. And you cited it in your video.
I didn't say free from unconscious bias. Oops.
It's in your video. It's in your video.
You didn't watch this video, by the way.
I did. You didn't watch the video. I skimmed through it. I skimmed through the important parts, and you added it in your video. River, stop fucking dodging it and answer the fucking argument. Stop being a coward. Watched enough of it. Bro, he like really like, now that I think about it, like rewatching this debate, like River actually does try to control the direction of this conversation, and I sort of just let him at times. I really shouldn't have. I really should have been pushing harder on some points. So I guess in like a debate setting, or if I'm arguing with somebody that is being bad faith, I need to push harder on the points and not let them divert and pivot the conversation in other directions. Like I'm actually watching it, and I sort of just let him pivot very easily when I really shouldn't have. I watched the entire thing. I skimmed through it, and I watched this point that was very stupid.
So wait, what was the point that made you like fake laugh like a minute ago? Like
okay? River, oh my god, I've already explained it to you a million times.
Calm down. Okay, so
do you see the link that I sent you? Do you see the link that I sent you?
Yeah.
And it's at the timestamp 114, right? Right here, you read saying diversity hire is intentional practice of recruiting and hiring candidates from a wide range of backgrounds, experiences, and demographic groups such as race, gender, age, religion, and ability, free from unconscious bias, right?
Over skill, over talent.
It doesn't say over skill. It doesn't say that. You're making that. You're lying. You're lying again. You're saying it doesn't say over skill anywhere in what you cited us. It says free. You implied it, but that was your assertion. Yep. Source. It in fact does not say over skill. Yep. Well, there you go. You imply.
Okay, that's my opinion.
And now he's backtracking it. Like he basically. So he spent so much time making an entire video trying to say that behavior. The reason why Dead by Daylight is a shit game is because Behavior is a bunch of diversity hires that do absolutely nothing for their fucking game, and that spend more time doing this and this instead of actually fixing the game. When one, that has been the case even when like a lot of the more, I guess, devs that were on screen were actually white. So that really doesn't prove anything, and overall River doesn't prove anything in his video. that the wheel of privilege is being used in a negative way, or that DEI environments create like toxic environments at work or whatever, or that the game is shit because of the DEI hires. Again, River has not proven any of this. He's just making shit up, and he's just lying because he knows he has nothing here. He has to sensationalize information. But you were citing it as a fact in your video.
So why do you think the game is in such a state right now? And why do you think every...
That has nothing... That is irrelevant. That's completely irrelevant. What do you mean? How is that easy? What do you mean? How is that easy?
So, like, that is, like, actually what I think is going on with the game. Like, do you think if they had 100...
So you think diversity hires are responsible for this shit game? Do you think...
Why do you think we have killers like Houndmaster? Why do you think we have, like, every...
You know, Houndmaster was originally supposed to be a white person, and the survivor was supposed to be black, and they had a whip, right? But they removed it?
Yeah, that's... I know. Isn't that crazy? I talked about that in the video. Isn't that interesting?
Okay, yeah, well, it's interesting, because, yes, that is true, that technically Houndmaster was supposed to be, like, a white woman with, like, a whip, and the survivor was supposed to be a black person, but, like, optically, that would look bad. So, obviously, Behavior played it safe, and they changed Houndmaster into, like, a thick black mama. And, they, I guess, changed the survivor to white. So, obviously, they played it safe. Like, Dead by Daylight does try to appeal to a lot of, I guess, like, casual people, like, the overall audience. And really, you have to remember, Behavior's going to do whatever is going to make them the most money. And chances are, I don't think it would optically look good if they had a slave master, or I guess the implication of it being a slave master as a killer. It would be a little bit risky. I don't know. I mean, it would be, they've done some risky shit in the past, I think. Like, they did, like, Five Nights at Freddy's technically is, because, like, the owner of Five Nights at Freddy's is, like, you know, a conservative guy, I guess, who has voted or put money into things that, funding that, like, is anti-LGBTQ or whatever, right? Like, the further you go down the rabbit hole, Behavior, I guess, technically has done risky stuff, but overall, I would say that they do try to play it safe optically. I mean, that would probably be, like, bad PR from Behavior. I can see why they made the choice to change it.
It's just, like, now...
I mean, you lied saying that it's, like, free from, like, overskill. You lied about that point specifically just now.
What do I do to prove it?
Because you're saying that they hire all these people based on, like, DEI over, like, actual skill. That's what you're saying. What you cited doesn't show that at all, and you didn't even mention the free from unconscious bias part. You basically are saying they prioritize that. It's in the times.
What do you want me to say?
It's not. What do you mean it's an opinion? You're a coward. You're backpedaling and you're being a total fucking pussy about it. You're like.
How?
Yeah, and you're just like blatantly lying. River, I've already explained it to you a million times. I've already, I think if I'm not gonna give you an answer that you're satisfied with,
you're
then
like out of breath. You're like out of breath.
If you're not satisfied, it's so funny. Like River can't even fucking like engage with the argument properly. He just like asks a bunch of questions and then he's like, "Holy shit, ha! You're out of breath. Oh my god, calm down, ah!" Like he doesn't actually like. River has nothing. He has nothing. He's like, okay, and then easy. That's like, this is River's entire debate strategy. He is such a fucking weirdo. He can't do, like, he really thinks he's doing shit. Alright, so we kind of just, like, go in circles about, like, DEI for the next few minutes. So I skipped ahead to the part where Evil Shrimp and this other person, I forgot their fucking name, they just, like, added this person to the call for no reason. Yeah, RiverCiver basically turns this into like a 1v3 essentially and decides to I guess I don't know. I mean, I guess River didn't want to debate me on his own because he was unable to debate me on his own. So yeah, we just let the fucking autism manifest, I guess.
Oops. All right, I'll leave this between you guys. I mean, our debate was pretty back and forth. He was talking about, you know, something Twitter, something diversity hire. It was pretty nothing.
I mean, I don't even know what we're gonna debate about. If you're just like,
oh my god, hold on, I gotta turn you down a little bit. You're screaming.
Oh yeah, he was screaming.
Okay.
He did a fake laugh.
I mean, it's funny. I wasn't even screaming. I was talking in my normal voice, and he's just like, "I gotta turn you down. You're screaming. Oh my god." Okay, dude. I never even agreed to debate you to begin with, but anyways, go ahead.
I'm glad you didn't dodge.
Well, I didn't want to like debate you.
Who even is this third person?
This is I'm gonna occasionally like give my input here and there.
I don't even know what this is. I'm gonna occasionally give my input here and there, aka just another person that is just running defense for RiverCiver because he is incapable of making his own arguments and debating for himself. Basically, is what that means.
He's a friend of ours.
Okay.
He's not gonna be double teaming much. Okay, so
yeah, like at this point, I was basically confused because I never really anticipated that River would resort to just adding a bunch of people to the call and like just like resorting to a 1v3. Again, I'm honored that River thinks that I was powerful enough to debate in a way that, like, means that he was unable to debate me himself. I didn't even think I was that good at this debate, truthfully, but, again, River decided to make it a 1v3, so that's, well, I don't know. If you have to make a debate a 1v3, I think that says a lot more about you than it does about me.
Anyways, since our debate went nowhere, maybe you could, because you just talked about literally nothing. You talked about.
No, I think you're asserting that, but you are just saying that because you don't want to engage with any of the points. I tried to ask you about how DEI gives an advantage, and you kept going off on a tangent about it.
Can I posit something to you, Iconismus?
What?
Now, I understand that River doesn't have definitive proof that
What am I? Nothing will be good enough for him.
Okay. Let me finish. He doesn't have definitive proof that just because of what he mentioned in his video, that behavior necessarily is definitively prioritized DEI hires. But do you not think it's a logical conclusion to draw that because they hire people like Dork who almost do nothing? I mean, her job is just to be a community manager. It's not strenuous.
I mean, maybe she does nothing, and maybe, like, a lot of the behavior devs are lazy. You could maybe, I maybe make that argument. If that's what you believe, that's fine. But, like, again, the problem is that River doesn't, like, again, the burden of proof is on River to show that. It's not a logical conclusion to come to at all based on everything I've seen in his video.
At all.
That might be true, yeah.
It's not really something you need a dedicated position to be.
Well, I mean,
the only thing,
Sorry.
piece of the game.
And also, you have to remember, Dork is a community manager. She's not going to spend any time developing the game apart from, like, contributing to, like, what was it, a perk? Like, there was, like, a perk she contributed to or something, but it wasn't even, like, that... It wasn't even, like, that deep. She just, like, contributed to one perk, and most of her job is being a fucking community manager anyways. So it's like, I feel like, what is, realistically, like, what do you expect her to do? Just because she contributed, like, one thing to the game, one balance change, like, what do you expect her to do?
That she's ever been noted to work on was, again, the conviction perk that she pointed out in one of the live streams, and the fact that they have the wheel of privilege as something that they actively use in the workplace. Do you not think it is illogical?
How do they use it in the workplace? How do they
Because the way that it works is essentially that they rank each individual employee based on their oppression status, and they create like a total score for them. So, I believe it's 3.
Well, that's funny. If you look up Wheel of Privilege, there's no fucking score system at all. I'll show you right now. Huh. Well, look at that. I looked up on Google Images every single Wheel of Privilege, and not a single one of them has a score system at all. And River doesn't prove anywhere in his video that they do use it as a score system, so, this random guy just made that up completely. It's not even true. Okay. I swear to God, these people lie so fucking much. I wish I caught this in the debate. I sort of just, like, took his word for it because I just gave him the benefit of the doubt thinking that he was arguing in good faith, but he also lies later, by the way, in this debate as well, so, yeah, that's interesting.
3 would be the outer side of the wheel.
I mean, it's kind of cringe, but ultimately, I don't, like, these groups have been oppressed in history. Like, that is a provable fact.
Okay.
But they don't...
Yeah, that's not the point.
Okay, fine.
We can argue that. That's a separate argument. Okay, I'm not going to argue with that on that point.
Okay, fine.
The point is, they're creating scores for employees based on how oppressed they are.
Okay.
Right? That's the point of the wheel of privilege. So,
okay.
Would it not... Now, what do you think they would use that score for?
Well, I don't fucking know. Like, that just seems like they're just saying they're privileged, really, and they're.
How would they do it?
What do you mean? How would they do it? I don't know how they would do it. I'm just making.
He said why.
Screaming. Oh my God, this is embarrassing.
I'm not even talking. It's multiple people talking. River. River's like, oh my God, you're screaming when I didn't even say anything there. It's interesting.
I said what? No, you were like, how would they do it? I said why would they do it? Like, why? What is the reason to have?
I raised my voice, River. That's raising your voice is different from yelling. All right, like, whatever, dude.
Feel of privilege.
I honestly don't know. Probably. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, what is the reason to have a score attached to it and to have each individual employee obtain a score?
The score thing's not even a real thing, so he's just lying about that entirely. If I caught that, I could have owned both of these motherfuckers. I could have, like, absolutely owned the shit out of them because the score system is not even a real thing. There are opportunities I could have really pushed on some of these points. I really am seeing it now. It's a lot different when you're arguing in the moment and you're not compared to when you're, like, reacting to a video or, like, you see something, like, way later that you didn't, like, catch the first time. I'm, like, actually, like, listening to this debate again. Like, it's fucking insane how bad faith these people are. And, like, I just didn't push as hard as I could. And it is what it is, I guess. my original point specifically is the fact that they weren't using that specifically to have somebody, like, whether it's the color of their skin or their veteran status or whatever classifies as DEI, as an advantage over a white person, which is what River insinuates throughout his entire video. My point being is that that is a different conversation from behavior having representation and making that representation clear from a PR standpoint. Those are two separate arguments.
But don't you think that using the wheel of privilege to assign somebody a score based on how privileged they are, based on their attributes that are mostly under their control, don't you think that would indicate that behavior does prioritize DEI hiring as well as
well, that's not even a real thing. They don't prioritize DEI hiring.
You can't prove it definitively, but isn't that a conclusion?
It's River's job to prove that. He's the one that made the fucking argument that they're prioritizing DEI hires and that that's the reason the game's shit. It's River's job to prove that, not mine. The burden of proof is on River. That's never a thing in history, though. They don't ever No, white people have never been, like, disenfranchised out of getting a job because of their color of their skin being white. If anything, it's been the other way around.
Do you even know about the affirmative action?
Affirmative action is how you get the job.
Yeah, but affirmative action has been ruled unconstitutional. That happened months ago. Obviously.
Yeah, under fucking Trump's administration. Yeah. Okay, whatever, dude. Oh, under our, like, dogshit administration. Yes, I know. I'm very well aware.
The Supreme Court is not really...
The Supreme Court that Donald Trump stacks. I'm very well aware. Yeah. The DEI and affirmative action policies are far from perfect, but that just because they're far from perfect doesn't mean that they don't have a purpose. They were there in purpose because these DEI groups have been oppressed in history. That is the overall point.
Because like 60 years ago there was Jim Crow. It's now okay in your mind.
I think it was way more than 60 years, whatever.
To give people who are undeserving of a position.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. No, that's not what I said. You're intentionally misrepresenting my point. That's not what I said.
Okay, then what are you saying?
What I said was specifically that white people are not being disenfranchised by these DEI groups at all whatsoever. Now, it's a different conversation if Dork, or whoever the person you named is shit at her job. That's a whole separate conversation. The color of her skin has nothing to do with that. That is my point. But then Evil Shrimp chimes in and says, yes, it is. And he's going to just be, like, edgy or whatever. Because, again, I mean, Evil Shrimp, the problem is that, like, whatever. I'll just let it play and then I'll give my point.
But don't you think that...
I don't care to hear what you think. I don't care to hear what you think about it, Evil Shrimp. I didn't ask you.
Privilege.
Okay, but don't you think that...
Have you seen how retarded the average black person is?
Okay, dude. Jesus Christ. So basically, this is what Evil Shrimp does throughout the entire debate. Evil Shrimp thinks that he's, like, a based guy, and that he's, like, he's a insane, like, alpha in real life, I guess, and, okay. The reality is that Evil Shrimp is probably just as terminally online as the rest of these fuckers are. Like, again, it's not even worth engaging with people like Evil Shrimp, because he's, like, he intentionally tries to piss you off, and, like, he is a legitimate white supremacist, so he's naturally not going to see black people as human beings. There's no point in... That's why I would never debate someone like Evil Shrimp, because there's no point. I don't think it would be productive. We would get nothing out of it. There's nothing there. I debated RiverCiver mainly because it was a part of the agreement that, like, if he reacted to one of my videos, I would debate him if he actually engaged with it. But it doesn't seem like, again, it's just one of those things where it's like, there's just no point in engaging with people like that. Okay, dude. I'm gonna just mute you because you're being bad faith. Go ahead.
Did you prove him wrong, though?
Okay, I'm sorry. It was funny. I'm sorry.
It was funny. Oh my god, it's so funny. Ha ha ha. Racism is so funny, and I'm like a guy in my early 20s who didn't move out of my Leafy is here phase. Oh my god, I'm so funny, guys. Look at me. Wow. Okay, dude. If you say so. If this is how you guys want to spend your life, jerking each other off on Discord, sucking each other off, like, whatever. You guys do you, I guess. Like, I can't tell you how to live your life. I also am equally within my right to say how utterly pathetic I think it is. Go ahead. You've yet to prove me wrong, Repent, or whatever your name is.
Reddit facepalm. You've yet to prove... I'm just going to say it, even though it's not true. I'll just say it.
Interesting, because River does the same thing all the time when people fucking jack off in his face with arguments, essentially. They just, like, fucking be like, eat that shit, dude.
That'll make it true.
And then, like, RiverCiver's like, it makes it true. Even though, by the way, I love how River's like, I'm not gonna tag team, and then he proceeds to fucking tag team. Like, they're all just, like, tag teaming me, like, at once. It's very interesting. It's very interesting how that works.
The cartoon avatar.
You know, like, RiverCiver decides that, like, oh, you know, like, I don't want to tag team or anything like that, and then he, like, proceeds to fucking tag team me and break his own rules because he's, I guess, maybe he felt like he needed some backup. That's literally exactly what it is.
Or is,
That's what you do all the time in your Twitter, in your debates. You say, hey, just because, you know, hey, do this or I win the debate. That's what you do all the time. But okay.
Essentially,
never
you want, because the only way to definitively disprove you on this is basically if I like produce a document for behavior saying, hey, we want to hire more DEI people.
Yeah, what will you even take?
Exactly, and it's your job to prove that in River's video. It's River's job because he's the one that made the claim. So because it's not real, it doesn't exist because it's not real. That's why you can't.
What's the point of the wheel of privilege then? What's the point of it?
I've literally explained it to you plenty of times, River.
All right, my pea brain is forgetting.
Yeah, didn't you say you weren't gonna double team, by the way, River? What happened to that?
Okay, I'll go mute. It's fine.
Okay, that's an interesting backpedal, but so...
It's an interesting backpedal. How is that a backpedal? What do you mean an interesting backpedal? You said that was a boundary you established, and then you completely went back on it.
Okay, fine. You're getting quartered. I get it. You're emotional. So...
Well, you decided... You're emotional. He's trying so hard to piss me off. It's so funny. They try so hard to fucking, like, rile me up. And for them, I would say one thing I'm proud of myself of is I feel like for the most part I kept my cool. I didn't, like, have, like, a massive crash out in this debate. Obviously, did I get passionate at times? Yeah, absolutely. I raised my voice. I got passionate at times. But, like, I don't think I, like, had a massive crash out this debate. So I guess, good on me for that, because, like, obviously that's what they're trying to do, right? And like, I feel like that's what River relies on. He relies on his debate opponents getting pissed off, and then he's like, ha 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 ha, like, basically, that's really what it is. It's you have to keep a level head, and you have to, like, just fucking utterly fucking, you just have to keep at it, basically, even if you're not perfect at the debate. All these other people to call. I thought I was just debating you, but okay.
What is the point of the... Can you explain to me... Okay, you can keep crying about that. What is the point of the Wheel of Privilege, do you think? Please.
The Wheel of Privilege, I've already explained it to you. It's meant to highlight the oppression that these DEI groups have been under. I've already explained this to you.
So they give you, like, a number based on your worth, basically, of how...
Yeah, the whole number... They keep bringing up this number thing when, like, the number thing isn't even, like, a legitimate... It's not real. Go on Google Images and look up fucking Wheel of Privilege. There's no number system behind it. It's just a fucking wheel that they use to highlight the oppression that you've been through. You could could you point out that, like, behavior uses it in a way that's toxic in the work environment? If that's the case, show that. Show it in your video. He doesn't do that. He just says that, like, Wheel of Privilege is cringe, haha, and DEI hire is cringe, and fat black woman is community manager. That means the game is bad. That's literally River's entire video. I don't fucking know how they do it, but these groups have been oppressed in the past, so I'm not really shitting myself over it.
Do you think they're oppressed now? Do you think they're oppressed now?
Not as much as they were in history.
Do you think they're still oppressed now at all?
Not as much as they were in history.
Do you think they're still oppressed now at all?
Not as much as they have been historically, is my point.
So yes, you do.
I literally said that not as much as they have been historically.
But they still are, is what you're saying.
Probably a little bit, considering the fact that illegal immigrants are still being indiscriminately deported without due process by Donald Trump and our president, so... Just because of the color of their skin, they say that illegal immigrants are, like, all rapists and stuff. Yeah, they call them rapist pedophiles and say that they're here to destroy the U.S. government, especially if you're Asmongold in his audience. He says that.
What if they aren't?
What do you mean, what if they aren't? They're not.
I mean, I guess that's a fair point, is that, yeah, you know, like, do get deported for the color...
Did he say the N-word? I think I censored the slur. Without due process, which... Oh, he used a slur for Mexicans, I remember. Yeah, it was a slur. It's supposed to be in our Constitution, but go ahead.
You know, I guess I'll give you that one, honestly. That's a fair point. So there is...
So he just immediately concedes to that. Okay, interesting.
Some discrimination nowadays, but do you think people deserve getting a job just because of how they were born?
I mean, they don't.
Or being higher up in the company ladder, or not really in the ladder, but just like, do you think just because they have a high number on the diversity scale that they should have a higher chance of being hired, or be like... you know, have a number attached to them? Like, you don't think that's overcorrecting, like, really hard? I think it's an overcorrection to have, like, poor people have their vote counted more than, like, a regular person in, like, in the Electoral College. I have to specify that again. Alabama, for instance, that's, like, an example of DEI going too far, potentially. But aside from that, like, generally, the intention with it is pretty good. Aside from maybe, like, a couple of, like, poor implementations of it, but, like, I would say for the most part, the intention has always been generally good with DEI and affirmative action. I feel like for the most part, it's been fine. It's not perfect, but it's better than what we had before those policies were implemented. So you don't like Mexicans who are illegal? When did I ever? Bro, I made a point that, like, people say that illegal immigrants are rapist pedophiles, and or that people are saying that they are. That's not what I said. People say those things, and then River's like, oh, so you don't like Mexicans who are illegal immigrants? Bro, River, are you living in the same fucking room? Are you living in the same timeline as me right now?
What are we doing? When did I ever make that argument?
You just said, like, without due process.
I said, they are deporting people without due process based on the color of their skin. That's what ICE has been doing.
Well, I know, like, you probably know more about this than I do. I'm not, like, a politicard, you know? Like, I don't know much about, you know, like, Republicans bad or whatever.
Yeah. I feel like you should if you're talking about, like, poor implementations of DEI policies and that being the point of your video, right? Shouldn't you be politically educated?
So I'll trust you on
figured.
it, but I'll trust you. No, I don't know much about this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not self-righteous about this type of shit. But,
is there anything else, dude? Like,
Orange Man bad? Or are you conceding?
No, I'm literally asking, is there anything else you want to debate about? Because, like, I have, like, about maybe 20 minutes left.
Shrimp says unmute him, and
okay, sure, fine. All right, what do you want? Right. Shrimp, you're unmuted. What's up?
So I just wanted to know, like, did you like my video?
I loved
you reacted to
it. I loved it, dude. It's so amazing.
You did?
Yeah. I mean, like, at this point, like, I know people are probably not happy that I put up much of a fight with Evil Shrimp, but, like, what am I supposed to do to debate people like this? Like, Evil Shrimp is, like, a legitimate white supremacist, and he is just, like, obviously he's, like, an absolute, like, rage baiter, and also he's a doxer as well. Like, he's just, inherently Evil Shrimp is not a good person. I don't think Evil Shrimp is a good person. So, like, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do against people like that. I don't really think it's productive to put so much energy into trying to convince him why he's, what he's doing is not good. I don't think I don't particularly think there's any convincing with people like this. So at this point in the debate, I feel like I'm not really shitting my pants too hard at how I reacted here. Because it's like, oh, yeah, no, like, I love the video. I'm sarcastic about it, obviously. The video was shit, but, like, yeah. So great.
So what's your beef with me? Like, why did you... Like, dude.
Oh, well, that was mainly for the slurs. But aside from that, like, obviously, yes, I think slurs are cringe. I have that position. Dude, bro, what are you talking about? Come on, River.
Bro, femboy, bro, dude.
I mean, they said they would... Dude, he's like, oh, bro, femboy, goon. I didn't even say... I didn't even give gooner bait that time, or, like, make, like, a gooning joke, which is very interesting. RiverCiver, is that you being porn-brained? Is that you being porn-brained, River? Wow, what happened to the porn-brain rule? Double team in the beginning. What's up?
Easier than I thought it'd be.
Okay, dude.
All right. Yeah, what? You can continue.
No, I was just simply saying I have them muted on my end now because they're going to interject every now and then. So, anyway. Bruh. Yeah, and then this guy uses his soundboard. These guys are very By the way, did I mention they're very unfunny and immature as fuck? I mean, wow, who would have guessed people spending all day in a fucking Discord server sending edgy shit and doxing people and, like, just justifying so much horrific shit and, like, wow, who would have guessed that these people are very immature? Sorry about that.
Yeah.
No, what I was just saying is that I have the position that I think slurs are cringe. That's all. I know you're not going to agree with that standpoint, but yeah.
You don't like the slurs that I use?
No, I don't.
What about like the arguments that I make in like the point my video?
I disagreed with one of your points. I think it was about it's been a bit, but like the decisive strike point, where basically decisive strike is like a free win, and it can be, but I generally think that the best way, I mean, you just don't have to necessarily. I mean, I feel like we spent okay. I'm gonna skip past this part because like I don't really think this whole gaming debate really matters that much. Like obviously I disagreed with some of his gaming points, but ultimately the bigger point is that Evil Shrimp is a fucking doxer and he's just not a good person. He's also a white supremacist, so that's really the bigger point. So I'm gonna skip past the whole gaming section. I'll unpause the video when I get past it. Okay, right here. This is the part where we stop talking about the gaming stuff. I don't really think the gaming stuff matters that much. Yeah, I kind of just reacted to it because I thought it was kind of cringe the way you communicated your points. I think generally slurs are cringe. I think a lot of edgy jokes that you use are cringe. That's kind of just the perspective I have. I know you're not going to agree with that. I'm probably not going to change your mind on that. We're probably going to be at an impasse here. So, anything else? Evil Shrimp?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, what do you... Sorry, they're talking to me.
Oh, yeah. I'll unmute them.
They wanted to know what you think is funny.
Oh, because I made
What's your sense of humor?
I don't fucking know. I can't think off the top of my head. I mean, I just don't really... I don't really know how what I find funny is relevant. I just think that your video wasn't funny. That was just the point.
I think they're just trying to get like
if they think that my humor is going to be similar to the rest of the Dead by Daylight community, where like, I mean, I'll use RiverCiver's terms, porn-brained, I guess, which I don't necessarily disagree with because I think the DVD community is cringe.
I mean, you said stop gooning, and you said like Shrimp and I are like he's like a sugar.
Where did I say stop gooning it? I mean, I might have. Yeah, I did. And in the very beginning of fucking when I typed in RiverCiver's chat to try to be petty, basically, that I did say stop gooning. It really doesn't matter. Whatever. Okay, I say some jokes that have like sexual innuendos on them. Whatever. It is what it is. certainly, I would say that's probably more funny than saying the N-word with the hard R and thinking that you're based for doing so.
In my channel.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
And
I
you
did
said,
say that.
Trip and I, like, oh, you know, the debate turns into a goon sesh and goon this, and, oh, you know, like,
I love that River makes this argument and then is like, oh, femboy porn goon, whatever, and then, like, also hangs out with Evil Shrimp, who justifies having sex with minors and thinks that it's hot to have sex with minors.
her entire personality is porn.
That doesn't mean it's very interesting. Very ironic, River. My entire how is that? And also your age of consent tweet, of course, which I don't know. Given that you hang out with Evil Shrimp, I err on the side of it being real. To be honest with you, my entire personality is porn.
What do you find funny? What do you find funny?
I don't fucking know. I don't think that's relevant.
If you're like well, slurs, you know, like, what do you find?
I mean, like, do you think? I mean, you guys think slurs are hilarious. I think that it's immature.
Well, they
especially
are.
for wait, Evil Shrimp. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay, so we're all, like, roughly the same age. I think for our age group, saying slurs is cringe. It's, like, middle school shit. It's, like, Leafy is here stuff. That's the perspective I have.
You're not allowed to call people cringe when you upload, like when you are who you are. Okay?
All right. Oh, yeah, because I upload Drama Slop, even though you are also a Drama Slop channel, River. Okay, dude. Yeah. Dude, shut up. You also engage in Drama Slop just as much as I'm sick and tired of people pretending RiverCiver is also not a Drama Slop channel. Like, he is also Dead by Daylight Drama Slop, alright? And that's fine that he does that, but, like, that is what you do. So quit being I'm very sick and tired of people being very dishonest about this point.
Okay, I'm just
I mean, okay, you can say that my Drama Slop videos are cringe, River, but, like, that's just your opinion. Like, obviously, it's a guilty pleasure. I enjoy talking about it.
Your opinion is, you know, your opinion of us not saying goon femboy.
I probably should have said that. I should have been like, River, like, you also engage in Drama Slop.
In every sentence is cringe. So this is something we fundamentally disagree on. But the thing is, you're the normies. You're the normie here. So, you know,
okay, I don't really.
You said that you don't think there's much of a point to argue, like, the usage of slurs with us, but like, I'm curious to hear your perspective on the matter. Like, why do you think we should not use slurs? Like, what's wrong with saying you N-bombs here and there?
Okay, fine, sure. I think that a lot of these words have history, and I believe. What was that?
As does every word.
Yes, I agree. I think that these words have been used to oppress groups in society. I don't like them. I think they're edgy. I don't think. Yep, that guy says the N-word right here. This guy says the N-word. They make you sound intelligent whatsoever. Like, I just don't really find them very good. I feel like you can communicate your points. You could honestly even make, like, a good hit on Spook and Jukes. He says the N-word again, without using any of these. In fact, I actually thought, Evil Shrimp, your first video was kind of okay. I think I said that in my very first RiverCiver video, that I thought your first Spook and Jukes video was, like, kind of okay, minus all, like, some of the edgy jokes. Because there were some valuable points. Do you think that, like, Spook and Jukes is a little bit holier than thou? I agree. He kind of had, like, a habit of doing that with some of his content. I don't think yeah, there's criticisms you can give to Spook and Jukes, but does not justify doxing the guy and threatening his family. Does not justify any of those things just because you have criticisms on Spook and Jukes. Necessarily undermines the entirety of his content. I just think that some of the way he engaged with some of these toxic TTVs was not great, or even perfect for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna speed this video up further because yeah, I mean, it is a little bit slow. So
you don't like the word because it offended minorities, like back in the day?
It says the N-word again. I mean, they've been used. I mean, listen. I think those words have historically been used to oppress these groups in society, and they were marginalized and oppressed. So
how did it oppress them though? Like, if I went up to a duck and I was like, "Hey, you're a duck," like, that is oppressing them by your logic?
No, I think what you're doing here is you are intentionally not understanding the history behind these words. I think when you're like with all the Jim Crow laws, with all black people being less than, with black people being slaves and stuff.
Though, like,
how is that different? That doesn't make any sense.
Like,
that is a form of aggression.
If I go up to a duck and be like, "Hey, you're a duck," but also like I implement laws to like put it.
Yeah, but ducks are animals and not human beings.
It's different.
You don't see black people as human beings.
Wait.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. There, I was going to correct that. Thank you.
Yeah, no. I mean, I was going to say, like, that's why we're going to be at an impasse here, because fundamentally, you don't believe that black people are human beings. Yeah, so pretty much right here is all the... I mean, like, we already knew this, so it's not like this debate really added to that narrative, but, like, right here, he basically just, like, admits to being a white supremacist. So, there you go. So
They're not, though.
Okay. I mean, then there's not really a point in us debating this topic then, right? Because we're gonna be at
They bear the mark of Cain. They're beasts.
Okay. I mean, like I said, I don't think we're gonna be particularly like intelligent with this discussion. So I think I think we're just butting heads pointlessly here. Is there anything else?
Mm-hmm.
Can you answer it though?
Why would I answer it? We're not gonna agree on anything. Why does it matter?
Easy concede.
Saying words is a lot different than like
He says easy concede. That's not really that's not a concede. It's like there's no point in fucking debating if we're fundamentally at an impasse. Like Evil Shrimp fundamentally doesn't see black people as human beings. But whatever, River. It's not like you particularly are intelligent with this. I shouldn't expect RiverCiver to be intelligent. Like RiverCiver is like dumb as dog shit. Like he's absolutely incredibly stupid, and he's just not intelligent when in regards to anything that he talks about. So I really like it. You have to not get worked up at these people. That's what they're trying to do.
actions. Like you're trying to like
Yeah, but they actively did slaves back in the day. So
yeah, it feels like you're conflating two different concepts. Like there's a difference between like saying a word and doing something. Like actively oppressing like black people, like I don't know, like preventing them from getting jobs, enslaving them is a lot different from, you know, just like calling them what they are.
using the words, it was part of the oppression, though. They were used in conjunction with the oppression. So for all intents and purposes, I don't really think I'm conflating it by that much. Okay, I think that is a ridiculous and very misguided and honestly kind of sad viewpoint. And I also think I also think that it implies that you guys have a bit of a victim complex, that you think black people are out here to try to ruin our lives. I think that's a massive victim complex.
They are.
No, they're not. I think
have you interacted with a black person?
Yes, I think a lot of them are very smart, actually.
They're obnoxious.
No, they're all very smart.
They're annoying.
They're very cool.
They're loud. They pervert our women in our culture.
Okay, I mean, like I said, I think you have a victim complex.
I don't. I just am aware of the world around me.
Don't do it, BB.
They're like a little bit fucking they're a little bit red pilled as well. They are like, oh, all the women are getting perverted because of black people. Why? Wait, I'm sorry. Why do you think that? And also, like your guys' whole point, or River's main point, I guess, if we're gonna be good faith, River's whole point is that like I'm so porn brained, I'm this, I'm that, like I'm porn brained, and then you have Evil Shrimp here saying they pervert all of our women. Why do you think that they pervert all of our women? Why do you think that? I'm curious. Do you watch porn of like women getting dicked down by black guys? Is that what you're implying? Is that like literally? Is that not like a porn brain concept? You are muted.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you think it is unjust to forcefully have sexual relations with a woman, even though the vast majority of
God, we love non sequiturs here. Love that.
women have being forced to commit sex acts?
Well, you guys have made rape. Oh yeah, this is another lie that this guy tells. This guy basically, obviously, like you'll see it. And I even interject like while I was editing this video, but basically the article he cites, which I didn't really read through because it was like a lot to read through in the moment, but basically the article he cites was talking about women having fantasies getting raped as a way to like cope. It doesn't actually say that women enjoy getting raped or like desire getting raped, basically, which is what he implies. So he blatantly just fucking lies about that here, which is very interesting. So I don't particularly think you care about this point because you guys have made rape jokes in the past as well. So
no, this is a genuine question.
I don't think it is genuine. I don't think it is.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think so because you guys have made jokes about sexually assaulting you. Evil Shrimp, you made a joke like in one of the 2v8 streams about like 11 being a minor and her getting fucked or whatever. So I don't know that. Okay, I mean there you go. Like that's what I'm saying. I don't think you guys care about this point.
Everything I've said has been in good faith.
If you look at it from a biological perspective,
this guy's like everything I've been said is in good faith, but then lied about the point system of the DEI thing. So it clearly not everything you've said has been in good faith.
The best like age group to have babies in is around like 15, 16, 17 years old.
Sure, dude.
Like you're
okay, bro.
You're in your prime.
It's like at this point, what do I even say to this? Like this guy is literally justifying having sex with people that are underage. Like I like there's nothing. Like I just don't even know what to say to this. It's like fundamentally he's wrong. But, like, me saying that he's wrong isn't really gonna, like, change anything in this debate. Like, I'm not gonna change his mind. He thinks that, like, having sex with minors is a good thing, so... Like, at this point, I just don't even know what I'm supposed to do in this moment. It's kind of just like, alright, dude, like, I'll let you go off, I guess. Literally, I feel like if I pushed back on it, like, it just would be kind of... I feel like it'd be better if I just let him confess his crimes here, honestly. Self-report. Let Evil Shrimp self-report what he's into on this debate.
You're the most fertile you'll ever be as a woman. You know, the older you get, the more likely your offspring are to develop, disorders.
Totally not porn brain, guys. Definitely not porn brained.
There's like genetic disorders and everything.
That's more about incest, though. That only stems from incest.
That directly has to do with the age of the woman. That's why women are advised not to have children after a certain age.
All right.
Women in their early days. This is. I'm not even saying this. This is verifiable fact. You can go check for yourself.
Okay.
Nothing I'm saying is.
Yeah, you guys. Good stuff, guys. I'm sure Donald Trump would love having you guys as his supporters, justifying having sex with children.
Rooted in anything but pure hard facts. If you want to deny it, go ahead. But we're just expressing what it is.
Is there an original point you had? Repent. Is that your name?
Yeah, you can just call me Repent.
Okay. Is there like a point that you were getting at?
So well, before you rudely cut me off because you see that I was arguing in bad faith, I was positing the point that No? Can you prove that I've talked in bad faith?
Because you are saying that, like, you would agree that it's bad to sexually assault somebody when you guys have made jokes about it all the time. I think that inherently makes your point bad faith, and you don't particularly care about this point. But go ahead, continue.
Excuse me, what? Can you repeat that? How does that make any sense?
If you are arguing in favor of something and asking a question, can we agree that sexual assault is bad? But when you guys make jokes about said traumatizing thing, I don't think you particularly care
I was
about
arguing
this
that
point.
sexual assault is good.
What?
Your point?
I mean,
no, you were going to lead with...
Oh,
raped a woman.
This part, I got very confused. I was like, wait, what? No, you were... Like, I got very... I will admit, he kind of stumped me here a little bit. He kind of got me. I'm not going to lie. Like, it was very weird. Like, because I would... But also, it makes sense that they would argue in favor of sexual assault. These are not good people. But then also, like, again, it's another contradiction in the narrative. Like, porn brain people with the connotation that it's bad that they're porn brain and that it's an own that they're porn brain. But then they'll talk about how sexual assault is good, and a lot of people that usually engage in sexual assault, to some degree, I don't think it's far-fetched to say that a lot of people who have sexually assaulted some women are, to some degree, probably porn-brained. It probably stems from that, and, like, the lack of realism in regards to pornography. I mean, okay, whatever.
I was going to argue that. I was going to argue because even though
I liked it, though.
sexual assault against women is so demonized in modern society, the vast majority of women
in modern society, do you think it should? I mean, he thinks sexual assault's good, so
secretly beg for it, which is why the majority of women
they don't. But he's lying here. Most people don't beg for it.
report having.
If they beg, if they beg for it, how come we don't explicitly hear them say that, like, oh yeah, you should fucking rape me or whatever? Based on what? How do they beg for it? Based on what? Surveys?
Medium consumed. Etc. I mean,
surveys. No. Again, what he cite. By the way, I just have to remind you. Later, he cites a 2009 article that says that women are that women have had fantasies of getting raped. That does not mean they beg for sexual assault, which is very again. This guy's extremely bad faith. I don't think you're telling the truth. I don't think you're telling the truth here. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't believe that.
It's your job. It's your job to disprove it. Then how am I wrong?
I don't. These guys really have no, understanding of how burden of proof works, huh? You guys are the ones making the claims. It is your job to prove me wrong. It is your job to prove the claims. Because you're the one making the claim that women beg for sexual assault. You need to prove that. You're the one that made the original claim. I find it very tough to believe that a woman would beg for somebody to sexually assault them. When a woman gets sexually assaulted, it is a very traumatic thing to go through. And, obviously, your body has, a response to it. No, your body has a response to it.
It's quite funny.
So,
yeah,
we know evil shrimp. It only makes sense that, it's a confusing time for... Okay, whatever. I don't even know why I'm arguing this. I feel like you guys are just going to sit here and say, sexual assault is good. So, I don't even know why I'm butting heads about this point. So, okay, again...
Here's an official citation from the National Institute of Health. Here's a case study.
Yeah, so he he cites this article, The Nature of Women's Rape Fantasies. This does not prove that they beg for sexual assault. This was a bit of a, I think this article was longer, I'm pretty sure. I'd have to go back to the original page. There was a lot more to read. I probably should have taken time to read it, but we were in, a bit of a debate setting, so I didn't feel like I needed to read, every single part of it at the time. I probably could have just read the title and gotten the general idea of it. But I feel like that would probably just be, bad faith, and I try not to argue in bad faith as best I can, so... probably could have done a little better with that, but yeah, if I actually did look into it a little bit, I probably could have owned him even harder in this point. I just didn't do it in the moment. Okay, what is this? Rape fantasies? Are you specifically, is this an article about CNC, consent non? That's exactly what it is, actually. It's fantasies about CNC, yeah. Consent? Is that what this is?
I've had a rape fantasy.
That's, yeah, so CNC. It's from 2009, dude. What the fuck is this? Alright, whatever. Also, dude had to dig back over 10 years just to justify having just to justify sexually assaulting women. Just let that sink in, guys. He dug back over 10 years ago just to fucking justify this point. That is so funny to me. That aside, that is crazy. For another time.
So I present you the evidence, and then you immediately dodge it.
Because I think you're specifically talking about a CNC thing, and yes, CNC is a thing, but that is
Can you read? Didn't even read it. You didn't even read it.
Yeah, the women fantasizing about rape. That would be some form of CNC. Well, because it's not really relevant to what we're talking about.
It is literally proof of my claim.
It is not proof of your claim at all. It is you blatantly misrepresenting the article entirely. Hey, Future Iconismus here. Just wanted to stop in and provide some context to the article. He lies so much here. I actually, like, caught it, and I felt like I needed to actually provide some context and, like, give some commentary here. This is a 2009 article. The person I'm debating argues in defense for sexual assault as he thinks a vast majority of women beg for it. This is absolutely a gross misrepresentation of the article, and that is because this is an article talking about how women have had a rape fantasy, not begging for sexual assault. Those are two different things. Sexual assault is a very confusing time, and there's all kinds of complicated emotions around it, and it actually does tie back into my point about consent, non-consent, because in a fantasy, that is still something you consent to. It is very different from the real thing. There is no world where studies say that having fantasies about being sexually assaulted is the same as begging for it. I don't think these kinds of things are productive to talk about. I don't think it makes this person seem intelligent. Who would have guessed more of RiverCiver's goons intentionally lie about stuff? I didn't really talk about it in here in this debate because I really didn't think it was worth looking at, and it really didn't prove me wrong on anything, so I also knew the guy was full of shit anyways. Back to the debate.
That was not relevant.
It's a fucking 2009 article with barely any, like, what do you, like, what, okay,
I'm sorry,
so here's the thing, here's the thing, right? If you were to find out that a woman had, like, a body response to being sexually assaulted and they, like, self-lubricated, what do you want to do with that information? Because that is true, like, basically, I've heard stories from survivors of Larry Nassar, actually. It's very difficult to listen to. There's a whole documentary of it on Netflix. They would talk about how, like, their body would self-lubricate at the sexual assault, or the sexual abuse that they endured. It's just a natural response that your body has. That doesn't mean you consented to it. It's just your body responding to it. And your body, maybe in the moment, like, I guess there's, like, some sensation of it. That doesn't mean they begged for the rape, and that doesn't justify the sexual assault at all. It's still sexual assault at the end of the day. It's still disgusting. But it's just a weird phenomenon that happens. So that's where I got that information from. Maybe I could have clarified on that, but we're in, like, a debate setting, so I don't know.
Well, you'd assume that you'd probably make some assumptions regarding the nature of how sexual assault is treated in our society.
No, it's a very confusing time. Just because their body has a response to it doesn't... I do tend to say that a lot. Confusing time, huh? I mean, it is a confusing time, obviously. Like, it's traumatic, and you kind of justify... Like, a lot of people justify... or, like, make excuses for their assault, or, like, any number of things. It is very confusing, and they're still trying to process and figure it out. It's, like, you don't expect something like that to happen to you. Probably could have used different words for it, though. I mean, they consented to the act.
These are college-age students.
These are college-age students? What are you talking about? I don't... These are college-age students. I don't understand... Okay. My article justifying sexual assault as college-age students, which means that they are, totally fucking... Like, my article is totally fucking credible, even though I blatantly misrepresented the original intention of the article. Wow. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Good.
If you actually read what I sent instead of just immediately...
It's a fucking 2009 article with, like, barely any evidence.
I'm sorry. 2009 is long enough for women to evolve.
It is. 2009 is such a long time ago. I feel like we have changed a lot as a society since 2009. To pretend otherwise is fucking incredibly disingenuous. Which all of these guys are very disingenuous, just to be clear.
All of their interests and for women to evolve.
I think that is a long enough time for somebody to have more of an understanding on this kind of stuff. Yes.
This is about primal instinct. It's not about preference. You just don't understand.
Okay, whatever, dude. You're the fucking wall. Anything else?
You haven't disproved my point. Easy.
If you say so, dude.
Well,
anything else?
I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I'm still confused. Like, why I can't say, like, because black people were oppressed at one point in time.
I mean, even if I were to have a discussion with you, you're not going to stop using the word. So what's the point here?
I'm just trying to understand your logic. Like, even if I don't agree with you, you came into this debate, like, knowing that, like, regardless of what you said to River, or, like, how many, like,
well, yeah, because that was basically the part of my agreement, is that if River watched my video, which he did, not all of it, but whatever. Because I was intending to debate River, and I was not intending to debate this nobody fuck and Evil Shrimp. I wasn't intending to get 1v3'd. I prepared with the intention that I was debating River only, because I didn't think he'd resort to making it a 1v3, because I just wasn't... I guess he couldn't handle debating me one-on-one, and he needs people to fucking babysit him. I'll let that slide. I would fulfill my debate, and I think I have by debating here.
Yeah, but, like, why would you, like, come into this debate if you also thought it was pointless?
You talked about nothing.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, listen, River's like, you talked about nothing. We talked about quite a bit here, but we did kind of go in circles a lot, if that's what you meant to say. I think it's fine to have discussions with people that disagree. However, you guys and the opinions that you have are so incredibly egregious, and you're obviously trying to rage bait out of it, that I just don't. I don't particularly think that it's like a productive discussion to have.
She's not going to accept you, bro. Think about that.
Who even implied that? The fact that you thought that.
You write the short bus. You write the short bus, though.
All right. Anything else?
You can.
Because, like, I have like 10. I have like 10 minutes left. So, anything else before we wrap up?
I wasn't rage baiting. I have raped women before.
Cool.
And they did like it. I mean, after the fact. I mean, I am conventionally attractive and above the height of 6 foot, so I know that you would never be able to experience like that in your personal life. Like, no.
That's good. I don't ever want to sexually assault anybody, so good. I'm glad I would never experience me sexually assaulting somebody. It's not the flex that you think it is.
A woman like would ever come up to you and ask
If that's what you think of my life, that's fair enough. If that's what you think, fair enough.
But that's just like an everyday experience for me.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you think. Anyways,
I get it. You're low T and you're mad at the world, but you know,
anything
like,
else?
Chad's like me, just deal with it.
they have to constantly gaslight me into thinking that I'm angry and mad, but like it's just I'm like very like I'm kind of sighing and just like at this point I'm kind of just like bored because it's like I'm talking to walls and like it's literally just an unproductive like shitstorm here. It's like they're kind of like there's nothing else here to talk about.
They want.
Do you have another point to make?
When you see me,
Jesus Christ,
they
fucking
drop their
ramble
pants.
so much. Holy shit, dude. Anything else? Holy shit.
The irony. Haven't you been screaming for like the past 2 hours?
Yeah, and I made points that River fails to fucking disprove. It's funny. I don't think I ever screamed once in this debate. I just raised my voice. Raising your voice is different from screaming. I got passionate, but that doesn't mean I was screaming. They took it as screaming because they it's passion, something they'll never feel. I to you plenty of times, River. Just watch your VOD. Watch your VOD.
Iconismus, do you know those memes where it's like the autistic kid when the school shooting is happening and he thinks it's a fireworks show? They're referring to you, little bro.
Didn't RiverCiver like not that long ago make a joke about him and Evil Shrimp showing up to the IRL Montreal event that Behavior had set up and that they were gonna like fucking shoot up the place? They like RiverCiver made a joke on Twitter about that, which is fucking like even for an edgy joke, that's a fucking insane thing to joke about. If you say so. All right. So okay. So if like again, I'm trying to like ask questions. If you guys have anything else. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna count to 10. If you guys don't have anything, I think we're gonna be done with this debate. 10.
Are you dodging? Wait, careful. Hey.
9. 8.
How does it feel to get co-owned?
How does it feel to get owned? I don't think I got owned. I think I presented my points fairly well. Here's the thing. I may not have done the best I could have in this debate, but they certainly did not own me. Like there's no way they own me. River had to turn this debate into a 1v3. Just saying. Like that speaks for itself. Even if I didn't do my best, I think the person that went after me, I think their name was like Eli. I don't remember specifically, but I think they did a lot better than I did. They were like insanely good, and I think River actually kicked them out of the call. But yeah, I had other shit to do at this point besides debating River, and we kind of just went in circles for like 1 hour and 40 minutes. So I kind of at this point, I'm sort of just like losing my patience. There's not really much else to talk about. Like it just feels like a waste of fucking time to even continue engaging with these immature, terminally online freaks. I presented my point on how you specifically were lying in your DEI video, River, about how you didn't include the part where they said free from unconscious bias, which you did include in your video specifically. So
that the dictionary definition of DEI. So I guess I used the wrong word to describe it. That's your point.
That was not my point. You know that was not my point. You're straw manning. You know that was not your point. All right. Anything else? I mean, you used it as well.
Do you want to concede on that?
I think I've explained my arguments fairly well.
So you want to concede on that? Is that?
I think I've explained it thoroughly.
I just my logic is like impeccable. I don't think I've ever been defeated. I don't even try.
Oh my god, it's so funny. It's like, oh my god, my logic is impeccable. My logic is amazing. I'm like the Ben Shapiro of debating, and I can't even fucking engage with arguments properly. It's incredible, honestly. Like, maybe RiverCiver well, I accidentally unpaused there. Maybe RiverCiver really is a lol cow. Like, I know people were calling him a lol cow, but like he actually like might legitimately like I feel like he is just like a legitimate fucking lol cow that thinks that he's like the best debater of all time. I did get your logic across, fair enough.
Well, like, where am I lying though? You haven't really like.
Yeah, I did. He did lie. He lied about the whole like wheel of privilege thing. Anything else? And the point system, and he lies so much.
But you just say that. It doesn't make it true. It's like I feel like it's really easy.
It's in his video. It's in your video, River. You included the free from unconscious bias in your video, and you didn't even bother to bring that point up.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like really.
And you're like saying, "Oh, just because I included it in my video doesn't make it true," but you decided to include it in your video. Fucking idiot. All right. I don't think this is going to get anywhere. I think I've communicated all my points. You guys don't have any other questions. So again, RiverCiver's debate tactic is pretending to be stupid. Like, I guess if you pretend to be stupid enough, you can, in theory, win debates. If you're just like a total moron. I'm gonna head off. It was fine debating you guys, but yeah.
Okay, let me.
All right, I've given you plenty of chances to get into it. No, I've given you plenty of opportunities. No, I've given you plenty of opportunities too, and you refuse to do it. So yeah, all right.
Oh, he's mad. He's mad.
Not really.
Rhetorical
Did you, like,
coming.
Did you hype yourself up in the mirror before this debate? Like, yes, 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 yes.
All right, dude. And they're just like, they're all fucking ganging up on this point. It's so funny. River's like, I would never 1v3. Like, obviously, we won't tag team you. And they're all fucking tag teaming at once. It's so funny. It's so funny. I mean, like, it's unproductive, but it's like, oh my god. It's just so funny that RiverCiver needs people to help him debate. Oh my god. Dude, it's like, really, this is embarrassing for River more than anything. Like, obviously, yes, I left the call because it's a waste of fucking time, but it's like, what would we gain from, like, talking more and more here?
And now you're gonna take a.
I think someone asked me if I would ever debate River again. I'll consider it, honestly. Like, he's, like, probably the only person I would debate because, like, I do think that, like, I probably have a lot more I could say to him. He's, like, the only person I would actually fucking, like, debate because I feel like, I don't know. But usually I don't debate people for the most part.
Along like old shower.
No, I'm simply explaining. I mean, you said that you weren't going to double team and you guys had to rely on double teaming, which I think is no, I think that's a testament to how I've debated you fairly well.
Yeah, I was muted for all of it. That's such a bad background.
No, all three of you have. I don't even know who this third person, like, fucking irrelevant, repent person is, and you added him.
The irony?
Yeah.
The irony?
It's interesting. I don't have that many subscribers, and I'm more relevant than him. Anyways,
Because he's not a content creator. What the fuck?
and yet you added him, so whatever. Anyways, I think we're done here. I think at this point I'm kind of just, like, being petty. It's like, whatever. Maybe I wasn't as petty as I could have been, but whatever. It's like, at this point I'm kind of just, like, over it. It's like, these people are just like, Get anything out of this debate, so...
Alright, we had fun owning you.
You sound like
yeah, cool. You have to rely on 3 different people gangbanging in the call anyways. Goodbye. And then I just fucking hung up right that. Idiot. Jesus Christ. It's, like, so interesting because in his debate, like, he had to fucking, like, rely. He said that he wouldn't double team me, but they had to rely on, like, 3 different people to fucking debate my points. It's so fucking funny to me. Oh my god. It's interesting. Anyways, I think we're done here. I left because we really weren't going anywhere with that debate. I think that's it. And I fulfilled my end of the debate because it really was just not going anywhere. Probably could have kept debating for a little longer if I really, really tried, but I have other shit to do. And I'd rather not spend 3 or 4 hours debating RiverCiver. I have way better things to do with my life. Alright, well, I guess God bless, right? That was my debate reflection. Definitely a lot of parts I could have pushed it back on further. I think mainly the doxing point, some of the Wheel of Privilege points, and just, like, they're incredibly bad faith. So if I ever were to debate River again in the future, which I wouldn't mind, I wouldn't be completely opposed to it. I don't know how productive it would be, truthfully, but I'll definitely look out for him being more bad faith if I ever do.